Today, it's the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Clear and cold in Cincinnati as the Bengals and the Browns are set to meet for the second time this season. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Riverfront Stadium, home of the Bengals, has been known as the jungle over the years, but lately it's been a pretty tame place. These Bengals have lost their bite. Off to an 0-8 start, and compounding their problems, an injury trumped to their most important player, Boomer Esiason.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago he got hit on the shoulder, has not really thrown a ball with zip on it in 2 weeks. He went up to Sam White's on Friday and said, look, I insist on playing. Sam White said because of his leadership, he knows whether or not he can throw it, but the first time he throws the ball with some steam today will be the first time the Bengals see Boomer Esiason throw the ball with steam in 2 weeks.
For the Browns, quarterback Bernie Kosar having one of his finest seasons, and a hallmark of this Browns team is they don't turn the ball over. Fewest turnovers in the NFL, and that's been the key to the 4 wins.
Bernie has been magnificent. He has spread the ball around, thrown it to a lot of different receivers, and he admits he's been lucky. This streak is alive. He's bounced the ball between hands of defenders and off the helmets of defenders and no interceptions, but that's the big secret to Cleveland's success. They protected the ball beautifully.
A couple of late developments with the Browns. Eric Metcalf is going on injury reserve with a bad shoulder, their kick return and receiver. But the Browns are getting back for the first time their #1 draft choice, Eric Turner, a terrific defensive back from UCLA.
The $3 million man wearing number 29 will be on the field today. We don't know how much he'll play, but we do know he will be a factor in some parts of the Cleveland Browns defense. So a much-awaited debut in the regular season for Eric Turner.
Now the Bengals are ready to kick it off as you look at the weather conditions. 31 degrees, wind chill has it down to 11. But playing conditions generally good. Winds were gusting very strongly yesterday when the Browns worked out briefly here. Not too bad today. Lee Johnson, a long-range kickoff man, hits the ball and hits a high spinner that'll carry down into the end zone. And the Browns will bring it back. Joe Morris comes out to the 21-yard line. Returning the kickoff 22 yards, and Cleveland goes on offense 1st and 10. Lynn James made the play on special teams for the Bengals. Browns offensive line has taken good care of Kosar for the most part. Jones, Rienstra, Babb, the rookie Ed King, and Dan Fike. Behind Bernie in the backfield, Joe Morris starts with Kevin Mack. Slaughter and Brennan will be the starting wide receivers. Galbraith, the tight end.
Actually, Don, they start with 3 wide receivers, 1 running back.
1 back set to open the game as they go from just across their 20, and already Kosar is changing plays at the line. Bengals pressured him in Cleveland's 14-13 win in the 3rd week. Fighting for yardage, and not very much. Leo Barker comes up and makes the stop as the ball is taken straight ahead. Leroy Horde was the running back. There is the front 7 now for the Cincinnati Bengals. Alonzo Mitz, Tim Crumry, and David Grant. Francis, Barker, Zander, and their #1 draft pick, Alfred Williams, back the line. Phillips and Thomas at the corners. Fulcher and Dixon, the safeties. You know Cincinnati has problems when their leading tackler is their free safety. Kosar on 2nd down, throws in the flat, going up for the ball, and coming down with it is Webster Slaughter, and he's to the 31-yard line and has a 1st down for Cleveland. Bending on the play was Eric Thomas. Trump.
You can see the conservative start here by the Cleveland Browns. They found this offense against the San Diego Chargers almost by accident. This 4 and 3 wide receiver offense. Of course, Cleveland goes with the 3 wide receiver offense because of the absence of Ozzie Newsome. Retired. They normally would throw to Ozzie a lot. They don't throw to their tight ends much. But a big 1st down to start the game.
In the first meeting at Cleveland Stadium in September, the Browns did not score a touchdown. They won on 4 field goals and a safety. For the run go the Cleveland Browns, and Kevin Mack turns it wide and turns upfield to the 34-yard line. Knocked down by defensive end David Grant, 98.
You know, the other interesting thing, this defense of Cincinnati has given up more points than any team in the league. Held Cleveland without a touchdown. They've also got just 7 sacks for the season, and they got 3 against Cleveland. So you can see if there is a psychological lift for a defense that's just been pushed all over the field this season, it must be against the Cleveland Browns, Don.
Yeah, Bernie told us yesterday, Bernie Kosar, They really pressured me. They hit him a lot. Sacked him 3 times, knocked him down. A total of 12 with the Bengals in that first meeting. Brennan comes in motion on 2nd down and 7. And Kosar, under a big rush, is hit hard as he's knocked down on the play by Alfred Williams. The Butkus Award winner is the nation's top linebacker.
Didn't appear that Williams was touched. Outside linebacker, far side of the picture, should come from behind Bernie Kosar. 3-step drop, and Williams is there to make the contact. You need a little more time than that for any quarterback.
So now 3rd down comes up. 3rd down and a long 7, almost 8. Ball on the 33-yard line.
Bengals have given up a bunch of yards in this defense, Don. A whole bunch of yards.
And Kosar is ready to pump it now with 4 wideouts in the game. He sets in the shotgun at his 29. Bussey threatens the blitz, pulls back. Kosar gets time. He delivers, and the ball is broken up. Eric Thomas slaps the ball away from Reggie Langhorne.
Bernie was hit again and hit hard.
So the Bengals targeting Kosar and getting to him twice for hard hits in this opening sequence.
I also noticed a change in the Bengals defense. They had James Francis on the line of scrimmage rushing the passer. Last year he led the team with 8 sacks. This year he has none. They're trying to get him involved in the pass rush, Don.
Now Brian Hansen, who's been a very strong punter for Cleveland, hits one well downfield. Mitchell Price will run it back. Browns have had trouble on special teams, and they do here as Mitchell Price breaks it out to the 40-yard line. And a marker is down on the return. Could be an illegal block called on the Bengals.
It always is. Holding against the Bengals.
Stan Kemp, the referee.
Holding number 53 on the receiving team on the run back. 10 yards, 1st down.
Leo Barker caught for holding on the kick return. So the Bengals will start an offense, and Boomer's coming out. Trump, he's going to quarterback the offense.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, his shoulder is not sore. It's tight. He has thrown the ball very sparingly in the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure either he nor the coaching staff knows exactly what he can do and how long he can go.
He has a grade 1 separation, the least serious of the 3 grades that doctors use to evaluate shoulder separation. Esiason ready to throw in 1st down. Has some good pop on that ball, but it's almost picked off. As coming over was Richard Brown, and he almost had a play on the free ball off the hands of Tim McGee.
That was very catchable.
Munoz, a 10-time All-Pro tackle. Reimers, Kozerski, rookie Mike Arthur at right guard, and Joe Walter, the right tackle. The blockers who protect Boomer Esiason, and he needs a lot of help with his bad shoulder. Here's a swing out. It goes to James Brooks. Running in the open field, he pops up the ball, but apparently the field caused the fumble. It'll be a 1st down play for Cincinnati.
Marked down. The inadvertent whistle on the field. Down by contact. Not reviewable. Van Waiters makes the hit. This is a screen. You see 75. That's Reimers out in front. Can't tell there, but they're going back to the line of scrimmage quickly, Don.
Bengals quickly into alignment indeed. 1st down and 10 at their 34-yard line. No score, 1st quarter. Brooks. Browns stop him at the 36-yard line. Clay Matthews, number 57, came across. Also on the play was Stephen Braggs, number 36. The front 4 for Cleveland. A couple of rookies starting with Michael Dean Perry and Rob Burnett. The backers to start the game, they use 6. Waiters, Brown, and Matthews. They'll alternate people there. Minifield and Hazard at the corners. Barnett and Newsom start at the safeties. Newsom getting accolades from his coach Bill Belichick for his play. It is 2nd down and 8. Esiason looking deep. Has to dump it off to James Brooks. Brown linebackers come in and get him. Richard Brown was up quickly to make the hit.
Don, this James Brooks has had a tremendous influence on his team. He's also had a tremendous influence on other teams in this division. The Cleveland Browns drafted Eric Metcalf to become a James Brooks in their offense. He has been a real thorn to the Cleveland Browns, catching the screen, running the ball. Tough little back. I think the most amazing fact about James Brooks, he lifts weights with the offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals. That's how strong he is for his size.
Weighs 180 pounds, 5'10", an unlikely looking NFL running back, but he's running his way right to the Hall of Fame. He's never been on injured reserve.
The torch is passing, though, on this Cincinnati Bengal offense. Harold Green is the next back for the Bengals to get the ball a lot, and James Brooks understands that.
Sam White's in his 8th season. The man who's trying to get it righted here. Last season he was a division champion. 3 seasons ago his team came within 30 seconds and some Joe Montana heroics of winning the Super Bowl. Now the Bengals battling for respect, and as they all said, it was on the front page of the paper this morning. There's nobody the Bengals want to beat more than these Cleveland Browns. Esiason with a long count on 1st down. With a run they go, and Harold Green breaks into the secondary of the Browns. He's inside the Cleveland 45-yard line and down to the 44. Harlan Barnett, the strong safety, makes the stop.
Good lead block by Rodney Holman, the tight end. You watch him coming in motion. They run behind Reimer, 75, Munoz, 78. Inside the linebacker, there ain't a big kid, over 220 pounds, out of South Carolina. Last year, great trouble fumbling the ball. This year, protecting it better.
Go to the run. This is Green again. He is popped hard as on a 1st down carry. He runs it to the Cleveland 44-yard line. Anthony Pleasant, 98, was on the stop. Now let's check the Budweiser 10-minute ticker. Big game today in the nation's capital. The Redskins and the Oilers. No score at RFK in the 1st quarter. Chicago's gone in front of Detroit in a matchup of 6 and 2 NFC Central teams. Scoreboard quiet so far. No score here, but the Bengals driving on their opening possession. Esiason gets time and triggers it in the flat to his tight end, Rodney Holman. And again, Cincinnati has a 1st down as the Bengals looking like a good football team.
Yeah. Holman, they had a 2 tight end set that time, and somebody dropped coverage on Rodney Holman. He was out in the flat totally by himself. Eddie Brown runs the slant, and he drew the coverage. Holman by himself for a nice pickup and another 1st down.
Minifield finally tackled him, but the Browns defense, which has been so solid, always in position, back on its heels now. Bengals coming at them, mixing the run and the pass and going right down the field. Already in field goal range. Harold Green. And Green takes it down to the 15-yard line. He gained 14 yards, and a penalty marker comes in on the tackle by Harlan Barnett.
Nice misdirection call by the Bengals, Don. That underneath handoff. Here's the call.
Might be against the Bengals. At least Frank Minifield was clapping. We'll see. There's a guy I know, Stan Kemp.
5-yard face mask, number 37 on the defense.
Was against Harlan Barnett.
Well, this opening drive looks nothing like an 0-8 football team. Watch the misdirection. You see how it holds the linebackers, 57? You got to seal that strong side, and that line did. And then there's the pickup by Harold Green for another 1st down.
So the Bengals challenging early in the scoreless game. 8 minutes to play in the 1st quarter. This has been a troubled area, as you see, a lot of turnovers down close. They've had good drives, but have not been able to make them pay off. Matthews comes up along with Anthony Pleasant. They make the stop on James Brooks. It is a 1st and 10 play from just outside the Cleveland 10-yard line. The Bengals conceivably could get another 1st down. You see how the scoring of the Cincinnati Bengals has dropped off markedly.
Unbelievable. This was an offense that for the last 3 years has led the league in scoring.
Again, Esiason with a long count. Again, he gets time. Here comes the rush. Esiason on the run. And Waiters knocks him down at the 6-yard line. And 3rd down arrives.
Don, did you see how Boomer went down there? He made a conscious effort to avoid hitting his left shoulder on the turf. Now watch when he rolls out. This is excellent coverage by the Cleveland Browns. He's got nobody to go to. 50, Van Waiters is the closest man. Now watch the way he goes down. You can see him turn, so that his right shoulder hits the ground, not his left shoulder. He's protecting it.
He's throwing the ball well, though, with Boomer Esiason, who's hit 3 of 4 for 45 yards. Now it's third down. They need 5.5 for a first down, 6 for a touchdown. Down to the inches away from the goal line. Eddie Brown's not in, but he appears to have a first down for Cincinnati.
But Boomer Esiason took a page out of the Bernie Kosar quarterback book. Threw that ball sidearm. He looked like Dan Quisenberry on this, on the rollout. Watch what he does. There's a defender, Clay Matthews, playing his position. He just slings it. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know that this is going to count. They're going to review this. I don't know that this is a catch. That's not the right angle. They are measuring the first angle. I'm not sure his second foot was down, Don.
Clay Matthews treating Boomer rather well. He could have really stuck him.
Yeah, he did a good job. But Boomer faked that ball, got him up in the air, and then he was able to throw it around him. They're measuring for the first down. Short. And I'm not sure this play is going to count. Again, watch that second foot on the reception. He's got the ball.
There's 1. 2 is out of bounds.
Will not count.
Not a catch.
It's coming back.
Absolutely not a catch.
Yeah, I have not seen the umpire make any indication that he's in contact with the replay booth.
Bengals looking to get a snap off.
We'll see what happens here. The umpire was just in contact, I think.
75 and 78 report to an eligible position.
They're not reviewing it, apparently.
Well, the umpire is standing right over the football.
Unbelievable. It was not a catch. It was quite evident his second foot was not in.
There's no question about that. Second foot is out of bounds. Now the umpire says we're going to review this. That's going to be a reversal.
Further review. The play stands as called.
Oh!
Fourth down.
Sam White has complained all season that they've got no breaks. They just got a big one. That was a non-catch.
Folks in Cleveland throwing stuff at their sets at this point.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Now they're
minute.
going to look. It was so blatantly not a catch.
Maybe some miscommunication.
We got a perfect second look from behind the offense replay as you look at Bill Belichick, the first-year coach of the Browns. We'll watch it again now.
This is a no-brainer.
Both feet have to be in the NFL after the ball's caught.
After control of the football.
There's 1. 2 is clearly out.
Well, now we've got a big discussion on the sideline, and I'm not sure what it's about. The referee does not appear to be very happy. We may have a reversal of a reversal.
Instant replay got another view of the play. As a result, we have a reversal. It is an incomplete pass. Fourth down.
We have a reversal of a reversal.
Sam White has not been happy with the officials, and in his wisdom, he's expressed it rather openly.
Yes, he has. To the dismay of his checkbook. That's the proper call.
Coach Belichick, the Cleveland Browns coach, with some concerns about possible espionage during the week. He had closed practices and special guards walking around. He said in the first meeting with Cincinnati, we saw things that they shouldn't have known. And we just fell out what they were. Here's a field goal try by Jim Breach. It is up and good, so the Bengals do get points, but they don't get the touchdown. Cincinnati, with an impressive opening drive, takes a 3-0 lead. Lee Johnson set the kickoff for a second time. He opened the game with a kickoff. Bengals stopped the Browns, and the Bengals with a very impressive drive resulting in a field goal.
12 plays, 74 yards, but missed opportunity. And when you're 0-8, it seems to happen to you a lot. You don't get the ball in the end zone.
A significant development of the Browns' first possession was the Bengals continued to get big pressure on Bernie Kosar as they did in the first game at Cleveland. Again, Johnson booms one into the end zone, and Joe Morris wisely downs the ball for a touchback. And the Browns start again with their second possession, 1st and 10 after 20. 6:22 to go in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Cincinnati. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at Riverfront Stadium. Browns trailing the Bengals 3-0 first quarter. And Cleveland goes to Kevin Mack on first down. There's not much there for him. Cleveland averaging just 3.3 yards per rush. Down 0.2 of a yard from a season ago. From Ryan Fulcher were the tacklers on the play. Now, Trump, we see that 2-minute offense that Bernie ate up some teams with. Brought him back against San Diego with it. Steelers couldn't stop it. They go to the run off it, and they go to Kevin Mack.
Don, let me tell you why they're going to the run. The Bengals' choice of defense here is a 4-man front, with the defensive ends being 2 outside linebackers and 7 defensive backs. The Bengals are using Barney Bussey, 27, and David Fulcher, 33. Unsportsmanlike conduct here against the Bengals. Personal foul. Not smart. But anyway, that's why Cleveland is running the ball.
Personal foul, number 34 on a defense, 15 yards, first down.
Fernandez Vincent, a rookie from North Carolina State, number 34, a rookie defensive back.
The 25-second
Did the
clock.
wrong thing. Big time. It's out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, now look at this defense. A 4-man front with Williams and Francis being outside linebackers and 7 defensive backs. That's why Cleveland's going to run.
And run they do as they go to Kevin Mack. But the Browns are stopped. David Fulcher, for 2 straight years, he was an all-pro strong safety. The enforcer in the secondary, number 33, 235 pounds. He comes up and makes a big pop. As we now again check the Budweiser 10-minute ticker. Oilers and Skins still scoreless. Buffalo with a 3-0 lead. Jets have gone in front of the Packers 3-0. And here at Cincinnati, the Bengals lead the Browns 3-0. Kosar makes the throw, and the connection out to the 50-yard line. They're close to a first down. And a second down and 10 play. He's going to be just short. Michael Jackson, rookie wide receiver from Southern Mississippi, makes his 16th catch. And they're going to Richard Fain, Trump. He's been a targeted man.
I don't blame him. Every team has thrown in the direction of Richard Fain, and for good reason.
Third and short, Bernie calls his own number, puts his head down behind center Mike Babb and guards John Ringston at King and crosses midfield. So the Browns get out now down to the 49-yard line. Crumry was the tackler.
Okay, now I think Cleveland's had a good look at this defense and identified who is in fact where. Michael Jackson again at the bottom of the screen on Richard Fain, who has been beaten to death in the 3 or 4 weeks he's been playing on a regular basis.
He has potential, which is a French word meaning you haven't done anything yet. There is a throw, and Jackson drops the ball. Right on target was Bernie Kosar, again as he goes at Richard Fain.
Don, in a defensive scheme of things, you may put more pressure on the quarterback, but you're going to give something up somewhere else. And here you see single coverage, Jackson with Fain, and if Jackson doesn't drop the ball, that's another first down. So now Cleveland has identified who is in fact where and who's going to get the business. And number 31 is going to get a lot.
Kosar brings Langhorne in motion. Snap to the up back, and they have blockers in front of Kevin Mack. But there's not much there as the Bengal defense comes swarming. A wave of tacklers led by Crumry. There was a first-team All-Pro player in 1988 before he suffered the leg fracture in the Super Bowl game against the 49ers.
That play was blown up by James Francis from the defensive end spot. Watch him. He's the last man down. Langhorne tries to crack on him, 88. Francis out there. Nice stiff arm by Kevin Mack, but that allows the defense time to catch up to him for little or no gain.
And Crumry comes in to finish him off. Third down and 11 now. Crowd starts up as Kosar sets at his 45-yard line. Bernie makes a call to Kevin Mack. Movement in the line, but no flag, and a low throw is incomplete, and the Browns will have to punt the ball.
Well, I tell you what, Bengals are giving Bernie a lot of different defensive looks. That time, Barney Bussey blitzed from the outside, and Bernie realized there was nobody to block him. Kosar just 2 of 6 for 18 yards in the initial stages of this game, Don.
And Kevin Mack with 5 carries for a total of just 6 yards. There's the beat man Mitchell Price for Cincinnati. Ryan Hansen's the punter for Cleveland. It's a high punt downfield, forces Price into a fair catch inside his 10-yard line. Browns had good coverage around the ball. Price had to catch it, could have been downed inside the 5. Cincinnati's looking to go back on offense.
On the Browns sideline, offensive line coach Hal Hunter there with the hat on and the headset, trying to get with his offensive linemen to identify what defense, in fact, they're facing here by the Bengals. They had a little confusion on a blitz pickup there, so that's where coaching doesn't get a lot of attention from us, but is probably the most important part of the game. Coaching on the sideline, adjusting constantly.
Hal Hunter giving somebody what for on that headset. Esiason moving the team effectively in the first possession, resulting in a field goal by Jim Breach for a 3-0 lead. Going on first down to Tim McGee, but he comes in low as the Browns got a big rush. Busting in was number 96, James Jones, who's been playing some very good football for Cleveland at left tackle, a 295-pound rookie.
Hard to tell whether Jones disrupted the delivery of Esiason or he couldn't just zip it out there to Tim McGee, but that ball went right down into the turf.
So now Esiason and the Bengals have it 2nd down and 10. Out pattern, he zips the ball. It is separated from the receiver. Eddie Brown had his hands on it and lost it. Minifield, number 31, was covering for Cleveland.
This team has had some drops.
Eddie Brown, of course, a teammate of Cleveland's Bernie Kosar on the Miami National Championship team. The team that upset Nebraska on January 1, 1984 in the Orange Bowl.
Now, Brown dropped a pass last week in the opening drive that might have gone for a touchdown. And he's had some drops.
Bob Trumpy slips further down the list,
as I expected to do.
He's just still on there. Esiason's ball floats, and it was very nearly a pick. Arlen Barnett had a play on the ball.
Okay, that's the first look at Boomer throwing the ball deep down the field. He did not look good. Now, Cleveland's going to notice that, tighten up coverage, play the short stuff, give up the long stuff. And for Sam White, that's a big indicator there. That ball floated. He kind of shot-putted the thing. Watch what happens here. He really has nothing on this. Plenty of time for him to throw. And normally, Boomer just zips it in there. That does not look good.
And the Cleveland Browns could come out of this with good field position. As their kick returner, Brian Brennan, in for injured Eric Metcalf, is positioned at his 45-yard line. Lee Johnson will hit it from his end zone. Gets off a high punt. Brennan comes up on it, signals for and makes the fair catch at the Cleveland 47-yard line, and there's a marker down at the line of scrimmage. The punt was on a 4th and 10. A 5-yard penalty wouldn't get Cincinnati a first down. Illegal procedure is the call against the Bengals. Another of their problems has been a lot of penalties, something Cleveland stayed away from.
Dumb penalties, too. So they're going to make them kick it again, that's for sure. Make those coverage guys go 40 yards again.
One thing about the Browns, they play hard and smart. They don't turn the ball over.
On the kicking team, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards, still 4th down.
Well, I'm not sure I've ever heard of that on a punting team. Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage on a punt team. That's I've done a lot of football games. I've never heard that call.
You have now. And so did Sam White and the Bengals, to their dismay. And now the field position will be all the worse, or all for the Cleveland, as they send Webster Slaughter back, or all the worse for the punter, Lee Johnson, as he's back to the end of the end zone. Here's the snap. Gets it away and hits the ball very well. Deep point downfield. Slaughter at his 38. Beats the first man. Crosses midfield, and Webster Slaughter is down to the 46-yard line. So there's a plus 10 yards for the Cleveland Browns in that exchange. Instead of their 45, they go from the 40. Boomer Esiason, Trump, checking upstairs with his quarterback coach.
Yeah, Dana Bible sits upstairs, and it looks like their conversation involves offense, and not like he's having problems. In that drive, he did not complete a pass. He was 3 or 4 in the first drive and 0 for 4 in the next.
Now Bernie Kosar and the Browns start out in their best field position of their 3 drives at the 46-yard line. Browns pick up the rush. Ball floats and comes in short of Webster. Slaughter was running a fly pattern down the near sideline. It was a deep ball all the way. The super fast Michael Jackson was all the way down to the 10-yard line. Alonzo Mitz, number 99, put the heat on Bernie Kosar. Mitz is the man Trump who calls himself the Warrior. Speaks of himself in the third person like a king.
They have not protected Bernie particularly well there. There you see 99 right over Ed King, 68, right in Bernie's face, and that shortens the delivery. That's not good enough protection.
Looks like Bernie was stung by that hit.
He's been hit a lot in his first quarter.
Well, they knocked him down to the Bengals 12 times in that first game, and they're going to exceed that the rate they're going in this game. 2nd and 10. You might go to something short here to Brian Brennan, who's the bottom of your screen. He takes a look, throws to Brian Brennan. He's inside the 40 and out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Good call, Don.
Yeah, he's forced to shorten up his patterns, but as you're saying, they're getting heat on him every play.
Yeah, this almost looks like a pick. Outside receiver came inside, cleared the way for Brennan, who's open in the flat.
We check the Budweiser 10-minute ticker.
74.
Skins have gone up on Houston 3-0 after a scoreless first quarter. Bears and Buffalo continue to lead by field goals. No TDs on the board yet this Sunday. Packers and Jets tied up in Tampa Bay. That is a troubled football team. They couldn't beat grandmother at this point in the season. Handoff. Running hard with the ball down to the 30-yard line is Kevin Mack as the Browns on first down finally crack the Bengal defense. Leo Barker.
John, I don't understand this. So Paul Barron reports in as an extra tight end. Now he has an ineligible number. I think Cleveland Browns thought that they had a 3rd and short because they've got their goal line offense in there. And they had a first down. Paul Barron now leaves number 74 and the receivers come in.
Browns trailing 3-0, but Cleveland driving. They too have an outstanding field goal kicker in Matt Stover, who's made 10 straight. Missed his first of the season, has hit 10 straight since. As Kosar wants timeout again, the Browns, the Bengals showing a different defensive alignment.
Every single time. And of course, with Bernie Kosar being hammered as much as he has been in this first quarter, wants to make sure that everybody understands what exactly is going on.
Bill Belichick worried about espionage, as we mentioned. Closed practices. Kosar said, I really think it was just to focus us on this game. He knows that every game is a big game for our team at this point. Next Sunday, NBC Sports presents an exciting NFL doubleheader beginning at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. Some of you will see the AFC Central matchup as the Pittsburgh Steelers meet these Bengals. Others will see the quick strike offensive Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills take on the Green Bay Packers. Then in the second half of our doubleheader, you'll see the LA Raiders square off against the Denver Broncos. Check your local listing.
To this point, Cleveland's having great difficulty identifying who is in fact where and what they're doing. So Kosar does not want to take a chance. Good field position. Wants to get some points out of this drive. Takes the timeout for a little counsel from the sideline.
The Bengals have allowed the most touchdowns in the NFL this season. They've allowed 29 touchdowns and the most points they've allowed, but none so far today to Cleveland. Cincinnati continues to lead 3-0. Matt is on a 2nd down and 6 play. He appears to have lost a yard. Big James Francis, an outside linebacker from Baylor, who was the #1 pick of the Bengals a year ago, there to make the play.
Lee Rousson with the lead block, number 44 for Cleveland. Didn't get much done. So far, this defense not playing like a defense that's given up the most yards, most passing yards, most points, most touchdowns. Playing respectable to this point.
Big down for the Bengals now and for the Browns as the Browns overload the right side with 4 wide receivers, and the Bengals jump in and call a timeout. They don't know what to make of that formation.
Yeah, they've got the wrong personnel in there. And the thing we have to do first is identify where Richard Bain is. Now, Dick LeBeau is in charge of the defense. Sam White's being the head coach. Dick LeBeau is totally in charge of the defense. There's Richard Payne. I'm sure Bernie Kosar is going to be looking where he lines up. Everybody else has. Why not Bernie? There's Dick LeBeau.
The importance of today's game to the Cincinnati Bengals. If we only win one game on the front page of the Inquirer, this is the one we want to win.
Yeah, you know, in our conversation yesterday with the Bengal players, Eric Thomas, the starting cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals, I think said it best. He said, this is a win we need for morale at 0-8. If we don't win a game now, I don't know what's going to happen in the rest of the season. He's absolutely correct.
There's some tough games ahead. The Bengals are coming off a 3-game road trip. They'll be home for 5 of their last 8. But as they say in the football business, Trump, at this point, 0-8, half the season gone, you're already playing for pride.
And next year's draft choice.
The local papers have been speculating on that, who Cincinnati might take. They'll get a good high pick. Third down now. It's going to be 5 yards to go where the ball is spotted. Kosar throws, and he makes the connection to Webster Slaughter. And he's down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 8. Mitchell Price saves the touchdown, but the Browns now have it first down and goal.
Webster with terrific hands. The slant over the middle. There he gets this time. Plenty of time to throw the ball, and you see 24 Lewis Phillips is late, not there. And even though the ball gets loose, they're saying down by contact.
Report to an eligible position.
A 21-yard gain on the play as the slant throw on third down by Kosar to Slaughter. But the Browns now with the ball is positioned at the 9-yard line. First and goal.
The umpire steps in quickly. What's going on here?
That's the end of the first quarter.
Okay.
That will do it. First 15 minutes, the Bengals hold the lead after that mark. But right now they're being threatened. Cincinnati holding to a 3-0 lead, but right now the Browns are challenging for the go-ahead score as it appears that Bernie Kosar, Trump, might be sorting out all these defenses the Bengals are running.
Yeah, I think he has a good handle on it. This has been a very interesting drive, and of course the big catch by Webster Slaughter. They started the drive with great field position after that punt return, so yeah, it's going good. It takes an offense a while to identify a new defense, a different defense. I think Cleveland's now got a good handle on it.
All right, we're about set to go for the Cleveland Browns as they come to the line of scrimmage. The ball positioned at the 9-yard line. First down and goal. Power set. Double tight ends. Eye back. He play fakes. Does Bernie Kosar. Dumps it off. And a penalty marker is down as his throw is completed to Lee Roussan. Roussan knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That might be a pick. Let's see what they call here, but holding defense. They got the defense.
In the scoreboard. And I'll be looking what the other scores are. We know he's not looking at down in yardage. He knows that. Stan Kemp, the referee, is about to pronounce, and he says,
Holding on the defense. Half the distance of the goal. First down.
Well, the troubles of the Cincinnati Bengals continue. Shula, who had cut a player one time for missing a block, and the reporter said to him, I can't believe you cut a guy for making a little mistake. And Shula said, what's a little mistake? They're all mistakes. First and goal. Kevin Mack heading to the end zone. He turns it in, and the Browns take the lead 6-3. Chorus of boos. There's a lot of Cleveland fans here, though. They're everywhere.
Absolutely, they're everywhere. They love this football team. This is a great job by Kevin Mack because he gets inside first, then bounces it outside. It sucks everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and then he sprints to the outside for a pretty easy score there. But the Cleveland Browns make good on their first trip inside the 20-yard line for a touchdown, no field goal.
Point is drilled up and good by Stover. And the Cleveland Browns with an effective drive that came off good field position, you'll remember, take the lead 7-3. Kevin Mack on the payoff end of the Cleveland Browns drive for the go-ahead touchdown. He's only 5 rushing touchdowns this season. He's had 4, the 4th giving the Browns the lead for the first time with 14:32 to play in the half. Matt Stover, who hit the point after, kicks off now for Cleveland. And kicks off very well. Lynn James from 2 yards deep. And he is cautioned by Mike Dingle not to bring it out.
You know, you mentioned Matt Stover. After Matt Stover kicked the game-winning field goal in Cleveland, as you look at the scoring drive, after that he got a letter from Sam White saying it hurt because it beat me, but congratulations on the kick in a pressure situation. Good luck on a career.
Yeah. Stover said, as far as I'm concerned, Sam White is one-class guy. Right now, he's one unhappy guy with an 0-8 team and a 7-3 deficit as Esiason throws to James Brooks on first down. He's ahead for 3 very tough yards. Out to the 23-yard line. Richard Brown was the tackler, number 52.
You can see the problems the Bengals have had in the second and the fourth quarter, and the 7 points just been added to that second quarter. In the first and third, they've stayed even with their opponents, but the second and fourth, they've been beaten miserably.
On 2nd and 6, Harold Green is the runner. He's been coming out of late for the Cincinnati Bengals. Had only 68 yards rushing in his first 4 games. In the last 4, he's had 245 yards rushing and has been averaging for the season well over 5 yards a carry as we check the ITT 10-minute ticker. Detroit has now come from behind and lead the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field 7-3. Green Bay down 3-0 has come back with 2 field goals to lead the Jets. And Tampa Bay up on Minnesota. Esiason, 3rd down and 3 coming up. Running out of time, he guns the ball to an open man, and it's almost intercepted. I think it is by Bragg. In what is without question the defensive play we've seen this season. McGee was gone. He was wide open, and from off the play, Stephen Braggs makes a one-handed interception.
Ball was underthrown, Don. Very much underthrown. As a matter of fact, it looked like the primary receiver, Eddie Brown, was more open than McGee. A late throw down the middle. There's no reason.
Play I've seen this season.
There's no reason to throw the ball there, and Braggs does make a tremendous interception.
Another look at Stephen Braggs as he tips the ball with one hand and gains control before it hits the ground for an INT.
Outstanding interception by Stephen Braggs.
And a great second look. Our producer today for NBC Sports is Victor Frank. Our director, Richard Klein. Executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. As the Browns now go 1st and 10. Kosar with an out throw. He goes to Leroy Ford, and the big back from Michigan turns upfield and goes to the 42-yard line. Short gain on the play, run out of bounds by James Francis. Boomer really struggling. He's now thrown 1 interception, or 8 interceptions and just 1 touchdown in his last 5 games. This one. And you have to look at the sore shoulder. He's obviously playing very impaired of late, although earlier in the season he was all right.
Yeah, fine. He was early in the season. He just had a lot of drops, but he's trying to be a leader out there for this football team, playing with a bad shoulder.
Tim McGee was gone on that last play. Tim McGee from Tennessee and from Cleveland had everybody in the secondary beaten. But Braggs made the big play. Here's a throw to Brian Brennan, and he steps out of bounds as he gets to the mark, and a yard more for a Cleveland first down.
But Don, you can see what Cleveland's choice here. They're running very short routes. 1, because of the pressure on Bernie Kosar, and 2, with all the defensive backs in the ball game. Bernie's trying to let the defense flood back and then throw underneath, and it's working.
Kosar comes in as the 3rd-rated passer in the NFL. Jim Kelly of the Bills is number 1. Steve Young of the 49ers, number 2. But some say Kosar's having his finest year. The Bengals say that. They say they've never seen him throwing it better than he did the first game. Here's a downfield throw, another connection by Kosar. It's to Webster Slaughter, and it's down to the 28-yard line.
Well, Lewis Phillips was turned 9 ways to Sunday. Had his back to Webster Slaughter when Slaughter catches the ball. Price finding, when this ball is caught, watch where the nearest defender is. See his back turned to him? Lewis Phillips is 10 yards away. Very, very poor coverage. Price makes the tackle, another first down.
Ball position now at the 28-yard line. And first down and 10. Leroy Horde goes in motion. The runner is Mack, and he breaks into the secondary. And the Browns crack open a Cincinnati defense that appears to have its confidence ebbing. David Fulcher, one of the safeties, made the stop. As we check the Xerox sports facts, who was the last player to intercept a Bernie Kosar pass? We'll let you know shortly.
I think we showed that interception last week.
It harkens back to last season.
Yes, it does.
Hasn't thrown one in 9 games. Second down, and just over 2 for the first down. Mack again. They go to the big back, Kevin Mack, who comes in with a 3.6 per carry average. David Grant was the tackler, and the last man to intercept the Bernie Kosar pass was Deion Primetime Sanders in a game that the Cleveland Browns won over Atlanta. It was a one-handed interception. Not unlike the Stephen Bragg's pickoff a moment ago for Cleveland. Deion, the cornerback for the Atlanta Falcons and the designated base runner for the Atlanta Braves. Not a multi-dimensional baseball player as yet. Kosar backpedaling, timing throw, going for the ball is Slaughter, and he drops it in the end zone. Slaughter had it and lost it as Kosar was right on target. Lewis Phillips was covering.
But not well. Lewis Phillips is doing a certain amount of celebrating. Again, is his back to the receiver when this ball is into his hands? I mean, Phillips doesn't touch him, and he's celebrating. He's very lucky that that's not 6 points. Very lucky. I don't know why you celebrate that.
Bernie Kosar trying to make the connection on a first down throw. Now we come to second down and 10.
He's got Phillips on him again.
Slaughter caught that 21-yarder that set up the go-ahead touchdown. Another play, another throw. This time it's Brennan. Penalty marker is down in the end zone. Brennan's pointing at the defensive back, Eric Thomas.
That's interference against Cincinnati. It's going to be at the goal line.
Cincinnati's defense looked so good early in the game.
Oh, wait a minute. That's holding, so it's not going to be at the goal line. That's a 10-yard penalty. This time the intended receiver is outside of the defensive back. They're both looking back. Well, I'll tell you what, they're both looking back. That's
number 22 on the defense. 5 yards, first down.
This team has gotten calls like that all season long, and again, both are looking back at the football, so they allow the incidental contact. And you can see his right arm, and the receiver stumbles, but both looking back. That's a tough call.
Bill Belichick says a lack of turnovers and a lack of penalties is the result of one thing, and that's concentration. The Bengals just possessed their 5th penalty of this game. Slaughter goes in motion, a handoff. Kevin Mack breaks in, breaks down. He's to the 2-yard line. First down carry is good for almost 9. And the Browns go second down and 1 for the first down, second and 2 for a touchdown.
Well, Don, you see what happens on an 0-8 team and a defense that's given up yards and points like nobody in the last several years in the NFL. That initial emotion of the game and its first performance in the first couple of drives is worn off now. Cleveland's figured out exactly who is where and how we're going to block them, and they're going through this defense like they're standing sideways.
Lee Roussan, number 44, with the lead block. He kicked out of the linebacker net, opened the door for Kevin Mack, and he's close enough to measure, and it appears they have the first down. Browns going for their 16th straight score now, and they get down close like this.
Inside the 20. 10 touchdowns and 5 field goals. And they have made good on the one opportunity down here with the score. This touchdown for Cleveland would be like 20 points against this defense.
First and goal. That's Roussan, the blocker, in motion. He leads the way, and Mack puts his head down and takes it down to the goal line. No signal yet for a touchdown. Now it comes in as they spot where he landed. And the Cleveland Browns, and we've watched them now for 3 straight weeks. You can see them getting better game by game, in truth, quarter by quarter, growing in confidence. Their execution keeps getting better. This is a team you don't want to play the rest of this season.
No, and they find the people that they want to beat on the defense. You know, they found Richard Fain. They picked on Lewis Phillips. He certainly looks like he's in the end zone. The line judge is running in to mark it. Wait a minute, the umpire comes in here quickly.
The ruling on the field is touchdown. The play is under review.
All right. Try to give somebody a look, see if we can figure out just exactly where Kevin Mack is. It gets a little crowded down here with all these big bodies. Nice cutback by Mack. He sees the spot in there. Leo Parker, 53, hits him. He drags him to the goal line.
Sure looks it.
Yeah, his body's halfway over the goal line. So that's now 6 rushing touchdowns for the Cleveland Browns. 5.
Review. The play stands. Touchdown.
Kevin Mack having a career against the Bengals. He now has 10 career touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals. As they continue to give up the most touchdowns in the NFL this season, they've now given up 31 this year. Browns behind early have taken command of the game. The extra point knocked up and through by Matt Stover, and with 9:06 to play in the first half, Cleveland with 2 second-quarter touchdowns has taken a 14-3 lead. The Browns kick it off when we come back. The Browns, with 2 touchdown runs from Kevin Mack, have now taken a 14-3 lead. Here's Stover kicking off for Cleveland. Lynn James will field the ball 8 yards deep in his end zone. It goes out as the Browns tacklers come downfield. Now we have an altercation at the 40-yard line, quickly broken up.
As we documented earlier, in the second and the fourth quarters, the Cincinnati Bengals have had all kinds of problems. Looked at 112 points to 13 for the Bengals. That includes the 2 touchdowns today by the Cleveland Browns, and this is exactly what you want to do if you're Cleveland playing an 0-18. Get up early.
A year ago at this time, the Bengals were 5-3, 0-8 this year. A year ago, the Browns were 2-6, 4-4, and possibly going to a 5-4 record through 9 games. Unless Boomer and the Bengals can mount a comeback. Hand off, and Green runs hard and is hit even harder as he's knocked down at the 21-yard line. We'll check the ITT 10-minute ticker. The Oilers get a field goal from Houfield, and they've tied Washington late in the second quarter at RFK, 3-all. Buffalo with a pair of field goals leads New England. The 49ers starting to come up on Atlanta. Packers and the Buccaneers continue to lead their game. 8:27 to play here at Riverfront Stadium. First half. Esiason troubled by a separated left shoulder. His throwing shoulder. He missed last week's game. He looks to go to the run, and here is Green, a big strider. He breaks it. He crosses the 40 and the 45. And Harold Green from South Carolina runs it all the way out for a first down, and there's a Brown down on the field.
That's Frank Minifield, son.
Minifield, a 4-time Pro Bowler, playing with a couple of injured shoulders.
Well, they don't need that with Turner just coming back. Thane Gash out. Minifield is their most experienced cornerback, and he looks in severe pain.
Bengals just got their first down of the second quarter.
Minnie on the sideline, injured right shoulder, and watch what happens to his right arm. The block by Caddis, and then it falls with all the weight right on the shoulder joints. Separation, possible dislocation, but an injured shoulder.
Bengals go to James Brooks in a big play by Michael Dean Perry, who shot the gap, beat the block, and made the knockdown for a loss.
Michael Dean, of course, committed to playing a little more team defense up front. He's got some very young guys playing around him, so Michael Dean would prefer to freelance a little more. Belichick says, stay right there. You know, play the team defense later on in the season. We'll turn you loose.
In just his 4th year, he's already been to the Pro Bowl in 2 of his first 3 seasons. Second down and 11. Esiason and the Bengals, who trail 14-3. Here's Harold Green, who's been their standout so far. Reverses his field. Esiason looking to block. Green breaks it up the middle and makes a whole lot out of what appeared to be deep trouble.
Now that's a play that can elevate the performance of the Cincinnati Bengals, and there's another Brown on the field. I think it's Clay Matthews.
No, it's a lineman.
No, I'm wrong. You're right. It's Eric Logan who is getting up very slow.
He's up, though. He's going to stay in. I know he's got to come out, but he's all right.
Cuts it back. Here comes Bengals. Quick huddle.
Harold Green beats Matthews and is finally caught by Braggs. But on 3rd and short, it's a first down.
Well, we got flags, too. There were too many men on the field for the Cleveland Browns. Also a flag way down the field. The Bengals run that set alert. And if the Bengals don't put a man on the field as a substitution, Cleveland can't bring a man on the field in a substitution role. We'll see what we'll see what the play is. We'll see what the call is.
The competition committee spent a lot of time on that when the Bengals first went to the no huddle back in '85.
There's 2 flags here. One is for too many men on the field. He's leading 14.
Too many men on the field, on the defense. First down.
So the Bengals get a break.
Yeah, if the offense substitutes, the defense has the opportunity to substitute. If they do not substitute, the defense can't try to get somebody on. That's what happened.
The Bengals now challenging. They have the ball 1st and 10 at the Cleveland 26-yard line. The handoff goes to Green. He's been a standout and is again as Harold Green breaks it. Still going. He keeps going, and down to the 1-yard line. It is 1st and goal, Cincinnati.
Big block by Jim Riggs. This drive has been all Harold Green. Cuts back inside, and at 224 pounds, drags a lot of people. Braggs bounces off. Pleasant gets him.
He's putting up some Pro Bowl numbers here, Trump.
8 carries, 96 yards. He comes out for a rest.
Report to an eligible position.
They've worn it out on this drive, Don.
They have indeed. You got to watch that rookie now who's eligible on this play. Rookie offensive lineman Arthur. There's the look, the throw, and it goes for a touchdown to Mike Dingle. The rookie Mike Dingle from South Carolina scores.
There's a flag down, Don. Cincinnati is motioning. It's against Cleveland, so the touchdown stands.
Offsides on a defense. The penalties decline. Touchdown.
The Bengals, at a time they need it most, in danger of falling out of this game, come down the field and score. And now with the extra point, they'll be back to it in 3. 5:22 to go in the first half.
That's Mike Dingle's first reception and the first touchdown in the NFL.
Jim Breach, who scored in 175 consecutive games, hits the point after. So the rookie Dingle is on the payoff end. Esiason throw, and now it's the Bengals who will kick off. Sam White's and his Bengals picked up now by an 80-yard offensive drive. On the payoff end, it was Boomer Esiason hitting a rookie running back Mike Dingle for the touchdown. First NFL reception, first NFL TD for Dingle as the kickoff is hit downfield. Danny Peebles of the Browns is cautioned by Joe Morris. Don't bring it out. Cleveland will go first and 10 at their 20.
As we look back at the touchdown, Ickey Woods and Dingle are the running backs. The fake to the running back. You see Newsome 22 bites that it's run. Makes Dingle open in the end zone, and they hit it for the score.
A reminder that at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be presenting the Avis We Try Harder Award, which will be given to the game's MVP. Stephen Braggs of the Browns certainly a contender for that. Maybe even more so, Harold Green, running back for the Bengals. He's been terrific. A second-round draft choice a year ago. His per carry average for the season up to almost 6 yards a try. Harold Green. Broward picks up the noise level now. Kosar goes to the run. And the man has been in the end zone twice today for the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Mack takes a first down carry out to the 22-yard line. For Alonzo Mitz, number 99, makes the stop.
Defense now, the base defense for Cincinnati. That is 3 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers.
Coming up at halftime, the Domino Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Will and Bill, Bob and O.J. standing by in New York. A lot of close games today. Field goals have been the order of the day in most ballparks. Here we've had 3 touchdowns. Kosar out-patterned to Langhorne. He tries to turn upfield and is run out of bounds by number 22, Eric Thomas. But the Browns gain yardage out to their 27-yard line.
Again, now you can see the choice by the offensive coaches of the Browns. Very short drops by Bernie. Very quick throws to the outside. They don't want to take a chance with the pass rush of the Bengals getting to Bernie Kosar, so they're shortening up their routes all over the place, and it's working.
Whatever malaise the Bengals had right now, the Browns had it last year. But coming off 2 straight wins, Cleveland's confidence is up. Right now, the Browns are a team to reckon with. Tough call here for Kosar. Third down, need 3.
Looks like a blitz. It is.
Yes, it is. They pick it up. The throw is made. And Jackson had it and lost it, and the Browns have to punt. A perfect throw by Kosar, but Michael Jackson loses the ball.
Mitchell Price, the man in coverage. The ball thrown low. Bengals had the blitz on. Bernie couldn't make the completion. This is the slant pass. You see Bernie roll just a little bit to his right. Price is right there.
Only a perfect throw by Kosar, and a drop by Jackson. Ryan Hansen in the punt for a 3rd time. Bengals, who drove 80 yards their last possession, will get the ball now with a chance to go ahead before halftime if they can take it in. End-over-end punt, not long, but it takes a big Cleveland Browns bounce, and Mitchell Price has to watch it roll all the way inside the 15-yard line down to the 14, and a marker down at the line of scrimmage.
Ryan Hansen's punt rolls dead at the Cincinnati 14-yard line. There's a penalty flag now.
Any penalty against Cleveland here, Cincinnati accepts the penalty, makes them punt again because that was illegal procedure. Is this not enough guys on the line of scrimmage again?
I'm not sure of that, Trump, but it negates a 63-yard punt by Brian Hansen.
Yeah, that was about a 40-yard carry and a 23-yard roll. So
Illegal formation on the kicking team. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Repeat, 4th down.
this is from behind the punter, and apparently they're saying the right tackle is not up on the line of scrimmage. I've never seen this called. Not saying this is not a rule in the NFL, but to have it called in the one game twice, very rare. But hey, if he's not on the line of scrimmage, it's a penalty.
Yep. All twice. Now Brian Hansen stands back inside his 10-yard line. They'll hit the ball from about the 12. Bengals set up a block attempt the way they're aligning right now.
They're looking for the return here, Don.
There's a rush. They pick it up, and an end-over-end punt to Mitchell Price at the 34-yard line. So on the exchange, because of the penalties, the Bengals picked up 25 additional yards. As we check the ITT 10-minute ticker. Houston, the underdog, has taken the lead at halftime at RFK, a 6-3 leader over the Redskins. Detroit, a 7-3 leader. New England now on the scoreboard with a field goal, trailing the Bills by 3. And the Jets have tied up the Green Bay Packers. Here at Cincinnati, Trump, 14-10 the score.
Yeah, and if you just tuned in, the last drive was all Harold Green.
Cleveland Browns in the lead. They led 14-3 after trailing 3-0. Browns defense comes hitting as the game clock ticked down to 3:25 and running. Inside backer Richard Brown is in for injured Mike Johnson at middle linebacker. Makes the stop. Mike Johnson, a terrific player, out with a broken foot. Was having a great season before he got hurt. And the Browns, of course, with 5 injuries in their secondary.
I see Eric Turner in the defensive backfield, number 29. First time I've noticed him on the field.
He's out there. Eric Turner, the second player picked in the last draft, the man who got a $3 million signing bonus. Handoff. Green, and it's Eric Turner coming up to get him. But not before Harold Green runs the ball all the way out to midfield. A gain on the play of about 12 yards. They're going to spot it now for a 10-yard gain.
There's Turner, second preseason game. Got a crack in his femur. The biggest bone in his body, in everyone's body, is the femur. And he played 2 more weeks with it, and then they realized what they had, and it was kind of a stress fracture of the femur. He's been out for almost 9 weeks. On crutches for a long time, so his first real NFL experience today.
It is doubtful. We're told that Frank Benefield will be back in the game, the starting Cleveland Browns cornerback, out with a sprained right shoulder. Esiason hands off and play fakes and then dumps it off to Eric Caddis. He is ahead on 3rd and less than a yard for a first down for the Bengals. Eric Turner in for 2 plays, in on 2 tackles. 2-minute warning is given. Coming up at halftime, the Domino Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Sam White said before the game, we want Boomer in there because he gives us leadership, and he's certainly done that as this game is worn on. Despite the slightly separated throwing shoulder, he led the Bengals on an 80-yard touchdown mark to their last possession to get them back in the game. And now with 1:59 to go in the first half, they have the ball 1st and 10 on the Cleveland side of the field. At the Browns 47. Reverse. James Brooks turns the corner. And James Brooks takes a thunderous hit, but he advances the ball down to the Cleveland 47.
Eric Turner.
Man, this guy.
Whoa. He and Brooks hit helmet to helmet. I can't tell who was down. They run the reverse. And he was drafted as a big hitter, and you're going to see it in this play, a big hit. Now, James Brooks does an excellent job of outrunning David Brandon, but 29 is going to come in here, helmet to helmet. Oh. First down pickup by the Bengals, but
that's why he got the big bucks. Kevin Byrne of the Browns has been saying all along, this guy's really a hitter, and we see it evidenced here.
Well, James Brooks is now convinced. Oh.
James is as tough as they come.
That was a collision, and James Brooks is a guy who's just getting up, and
he's being advised now, if you hear the phone ring, don't answer it.
Don't answer it. It's not for you. It'll pass in a minute. That was a major league hit by Eric Turner.
He's been on every tackle virtually.
Brooks is checking.
Clock to 1 minute and 52 seconds.
Okay, James Brooks was on the sideline looking at his helmet, say, he had to break my helmet. He had to break something.
This is like a vintage Ronnie Lott, the way he rockets in.
This is and he goes to and through him, too. You know, great fundamentals on that tackle. He didn't go to Brooks, he went to and through him. Endo.
He's the biggest 207 you've ever seen. We saw him warming up in a t-shirt yesterday. I thought he was a linebacker. they go to Green, who's been so productive, and the Browns really targeting number 28. He's gotten the ball so often and so effectively. That time on a first down carry, Harold Green runs the ball to the Cleveland 32-yard line. Time becoming a factor now. Clock running with 1.5 minutes to play in the first half.
Cincinnati has 2 timeouts. Browns with their base defense. And this is where Cincinnati functions well in this hurry-up situation.
Green again. Might have lost his footing as he tried to cut back. He's still got plus yards down to the 27, and the Bengals call a timeout. They have 1 left.
Cincinnati, that's their second one. This is a 40-second timeout.
A 40-second timeout. This is Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Riverfront Stadium that they used to call the Jungle, they still do. But as mentioned earlier, it's been a tame place, although the Bengals today looking like a good football team for the most part. They've malfunctioned at times, 5 penalties. Cleveland's holding a 14-10 lead, but the Bengals just scored on their last possession, threatening to score again. Third down, they need 2, and Harold Green is their man who fights ahead and appears to have gotten it. He advances the ball inside the Browns' 25-yard line. Cleveland back at home next Sunday at Cleveland Stadium to meet the Eagles before 79,000.
Don, I mentioned the Bengals function well in this situation because they have in the past run so much of their offense at the line of scrimmage. They can call virtually any play from this spot.
Esiason tip ball incomplete. Eddie Matthews almost got to it. There's been 1 interception today, an absolutely brilliant play by defensive back Stephen Braggs of Cleveland, who tipped the ball with 1 hand, and then dove at it and grabbed it just before it hit the ground for an interception. Had the ball been a foot higher, it would have been a Cleveland touchdown. Tim McGee was 2 steps behind the defense.
And Boomer is talking with the officials there, saying there's an awful lot of time went off that clock. Why? Because it was an incomplete pass.
This is his home yard.
Yes, and of course, even though everyone in the NFL says the scoreboard clock is official, there is an official on the sideline who corrects the scoreboard clock all the time.
Reset the game clock to 53 seconds.
Boomer's point well taken.
Well, they were down here once before, got a field goal. The second time they were down here, they got the touchdown.
Look at these numbers for Harold Green.
12 carries, 114 yards.
He's not played a half yet. Green is the lone setback. On second down, Esiason goes to the end zone to Rodney Holman. And a very experienced player's move by Clay Matthews, who just ran stride for stride, saw where the ball was going, and just held his course and wouldn't let Rodney Holman get over to it.
A guy who was not easily fooled. You see at the end of this play, there might be a little bump. No call. Clay Matthews is right there on the outside. 22 Newsome on the inside, so it's another 3rd and 10 situation. There's Matthews. There's the bump. No call. Incomplete pass.
But the Bengals down in field goal range. Third down arises. They need 10. In motion, they go with a tight end run, and they go to Harold Green, who takes it to the 20-yard line. So apparently they're going to look to kick a field goal.
Yeah, Don, that's a play designed to run against a specific defense. You know, they want you to throw, so they send in a defense to stop the throw. Now we go in and run. Cleveland takes a timeout. Interesting.
40-second timeout.
40-second timeout called by the Cleveland Browns defense. Bill Belichick's Browns backed up on defense. Now they lead the game to the Cleveland Browns 14-10. But Jim Breach ready to try a field goal. Breach never played soccer in high school, but as a grammar school student, he watched the Camellia Bowl in his hometown of Sacramento and saw a pretty good soccer kicker kicking from Montana State. Jan Stenerud was his name, and Jim Breach, who hits this one, said, I want to kick it like Jan Stenerud. Stenerud, of course, going on as a Hall of Fame player for Kansas City. And Jim Breach continues to produce for the Cincinnati Bengals. All the better for Mrs. Breach and the 6 little Breaches. Got a full house.
He also has a foot the size of a booty. It's a size 6 man's shoe. I mean, there's nothing to that foot. It's all in the swing of the leg.
Almost like a hoof.
Yeah, it is.
Now let's check the ITT 10-minute ticker. Big story developing possibly at Washington, where the unbeaten Redskins trail the Houston Oilers. Detroit, after trailing early, has come back to lead the Bears at halftime 10-3. Bills struggling with New England's tough defense. Jets have now taken a lead at halftime over Green Bay, and Tampa Bay continues to lead Minnesota in the third quarter. At halftime, we go to New York for NFL Live. The Domino's Pizza halftime report. 29 seconds left to play in the first half here at Riverfront Stadium. The Bengals led it early, 3-0. The Browns took command on 2 short touchdown runs by Kevin Mack. They led 14-3. And now the Bengals with scores in their last 2 possessions, a touchdown and a field goal. They've come back to trail 14-13. Lee Johnson, one of the NFL's best kickoff men. Picked for a national championship team at BYU, hits the ball down to the 2-yard line. Here comes Danny Peebles. And he's taken down at the 18-yard line. So Kosar on the Cleveland offense with just 23 seconds of first half time remaining. Bernard Clark, the former Miami Hurricane, was the tackler on that kickoff.
With 23 seconds to go here, 14-13, I think you protect it. You don't do something foolish. Bernie Kosar knows that. So do the Cleveland Browns coaches. Just sit on it.
It's not getting any warmer here in the Ohio Valley.
Well, they've got the Hail Mary formation here, but I think they're going to give it to Kevin Mack, Don.
He's going to let it fly. He better hurry. He dumps it off. He does give it to Kevin Mack. But on a little pitch, and it's out to the 30-yard line. 13 seconds left.
That's not the way I expected them to get it to Kevin Mack.
Timeout. Cleveland. That's their last timeout.
They still need a 50-yard pass play here and an out of bounds to set up a field goal. Coach Belichick knew this would be a battle for 4 quarters. It's going to be that.
This is a screen pass. You see Fab 61 get out there in front. He just eases it over the defensive man. Mack makes a nice catch, but situations like this, they really miss Eric Metcalf, and they're going to miss Eric Metcalf. He's the guy who gets down in that defensive backfield and just runs all over the place.
Total yard numbers.
Look at the Bengals per carry average in this game, 107.1.
Bernie Kosar throwing the ball is 9 for 16 for 97 yards.
And no interceptions.
No interceptions, so he's now 17 short. 17 passes without an interception short of establishing a record. The current mark held by Bart Starr, the Hall of Famer of Green Bay Packer fame, who went 294 straight passes without an interception. So the first half goes back and forth. The Cleveland Browns go to their locker room holding to just a 1-point lead over the winless Bengals. The NFL Live halftime report is coming up next. As at halftime here at Riverfront Stadium, it stands Cleveland 14, Cincinnati 13. The Battle of Ohio continues.
The Cincinnati Bengals, 118 of that is Harold Green. He has absolutely torn through the Cleveland Browns defense in the first half. Last time these two teams met, James Brooks was over 100 yards rushing. So the running game is working. On the other side of the coin, Boomer Esiason has just 7 pass completions in his first half.
But Harold Green has been the big story on the Cincinnati offense. Talking to some of the Browns people at halftime, In the first game, we couldn't stop James Brooks. He got 111 yards. This guy's even better, having a career day. The second-year running back from South Carolina. Trump points out, averaging 9.1 yards a rush. You see his comparative numbers with Kevin Mack. Although Mack knows where the end zone is, he's been in there twice.
Yeah, the thing is, we're going to find out about the conditioning of Harold Green. Can he carry it another 13 times in the second half?
It's not that heavy.
Well, it's not, but the big guys do tend to hang on to you every once in a while, Don.
The kickoff. Lynn James runs the ball to the 30-yard line. And the Bengals start out with relatively good field position after the third quarter kickoff.
You see the possessions, the last two of the first half have resulted in 10 points, and the Bengals get the ball to start the second half. Field position not been particularly good, starting at their own 21, but we'll see if Boomer Esiason's shoulder is tightened up at all in this halftime stoppage of play here.
Esiason playing with a partially separated left shoulder. This last week's game, he was hurt in the loss to the Buffalo Bills on a Monday night. Slammed to the turf on his throwing shoulder. Right back to the money, and there's Harold Green, and the Browns are looking for him as Harold Green is thrown back. Middle linebacker Richard Brown was the lead tackler. Michael Dean Perry also on the play, along with Sangapulatelli.
Don, one factor that's going to be key here for Cleveland is they're missing Frank Minifield in the second half, out with a sprained shoulder. And it's just a matter of time, I think, before Cincinnati tries to exploit the guy replacing him. And as best I can figure out, it looks like Randy Hilliard is at Frank Minifield's corner.
That is correct. They have Stephen Braggs playing the right corner at the moment. Hilliard on the left side. Green gets to the outside. Braggs comes up and submarines him. On a 2nd down and 7 play, Braggs got a shin-high shot on Harold Green and knocked him down. It was again a plus yardage gain for Harold Green.
Again, that delay, misdirection play by the Cincinnati Bengals. You see Caddis, 84, the lead blocker. Newsome misses him. And this is very smart of the defensive back. Down around the knees. And you suffer less damage if you're a tackler that way. Big down here for Cincinnati and for Cleveland.
Green, a big back with speed, 6'2", 222. An upright runner, reminds you a lot of Eric Dickerson, or the way Eric Dickerson used to run. Esiason gets time on 3rd and 3. He has to pick out a receiver. He gets one. And then the man who makes the catch, Tim McGee, who's for the most part been shut down by the Cleveland defense. And McGee has caught 12 passes in the 2 games leading up to this, 6 in each. But he does get enough for a Cincinnati first down.
Again, though, Don, I think Cincinnati's learned that Boomer cannot throw the ball down the field with very much effectiveness. They're staying with the real short stuff to try to keep him in the game, not come up with a turnover again. That one interception was a deep throw by Boomer Esiason, picked off by Braggs.
James Brooks runs behind the blocking of Harold Green, and a big hit put on by Vince Newsome, number 22. Who came up from the free safety position, got a big shot on the ball carrier, James Brooks, who took a hellacious hit from rookie Eric Turner in the 2nd quarter. Turner now starting at strong safety here in the 2nd half. He's in for Harlan Barnett. Might feel like Wally Pipp getting sick, and Lou Gehrig coming in, because this guy's going to be around a while. Eric Turner. This is a weapon. Esiason with a long play count call on 2nd down and 6. Harold Green with the elusiveness, the quick-footed shiftiness of a much smaller back, but at 225. He again finds his way into a defense for yardage. Ahead for 3.
And he's still got his legs. Your legs can get fatigued after the tough carries he had in the first half, but you saw good springing when he was jumping over defensive players. Now another critical 3rd down here for both teams.
Third down, a long 3, almost 4. Ray Matthews jumps in as if to blitz, and he does. Esiason shuffles the ball to Harold Green. He's taken down, and it appears he's going to have just enough for a Cincinnati first down as he gets to the Cleveland 46, tackled by Eric Turner.
Did he throw that with his right hand?
I think he might have, Trump, yeah.
Watch what he does here. Boomer has always been a very resourceful quarterback. No, he shovels it with his left hand, but it's just a completed pass. Nothing to it, enough for a first down.
So the Bengals, who have scored on their 2 previous possessions, that was in the second quarter, now keep this opening drive alive in the third quarter, trailing by a single point, 14-13. Even with 6 men up front. Run by James Brooks, a 4-time Pro Bowl player. Number 1 draft pick of the San Diego Chargers back in '81. Van Waiters, an outside linebacker, number 50, was the tackler for Cleveland.
James Brooks was traded straight up for Pete Johnson. That's a little for a lot, you know?
1984 was the year of the trade. Pete Johnson's been out of football a long time. Second and 9. Swing pass to Brooks. He is ahead for a gain of about 7 yards down to the 38-yard line of Cleveland as the Cleveland zone defense is spread out all over the field, and Esiason's finding people in it.
You can see that there's plenty of pass protection for Boomer Esiason. Tim McGee runs the pattern from the outside. That's Hilliard, and McGee is wide open on the sideline. Boomer does not go. He chooses to go underneath and brings up another big third down situation now. Boomer's been 2 of 2 now in these third down situations.
Normally a strong arm thrower has not been putting the ball deep very often. Did have one early deep throw that was intercepted. This time the Browns come on Harold Green as he is going to be thrown for a huge loss back to the 40-yard line. How's a marker down?
That's a face mask. With all this lost yardage, they're going to end up with a first down. Oh, my goodness.
Line of scrimmage was at 38, and he's thrown all the way back 22 yards back to his 40.
Face mask, Cleveland. That's during the run. That's going to be a first down.
That call is correct, Trump.
I think it's Anthony Pleasant, 98, who gets his hand in on the face mask. It's an inadvertent, or is it? Well, yeah, he does take his hand off of it. Now they're trying to figure out exactly where they place it, but I believe this is going to be an automatic first down.
Face mask, number 58 on the defense. This is a 5-yard face mask. The penalty will be assessed from the spot of the foul back to the line of scrimmage. Repeat third down.
So instead of fourth down and 22.
Wait a minute.
No, that's not right. It's a defensive penalty. You're right. It's a first down.
Yeah, I don't know how this happens because it ends up being like a 20-yard gain for Cincinnati, and they don't lose the down. So they're giving him the penalty and the down.
We're going to have to work on this.
No, you work on it. I'm not sure how to figure this one out.
It's third down and 3 again.
But it was just third down and 3, and they got the penalty. If you take the penalty, I don't understand this. Anyway.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story here.
Okay.
Here's an outlet throw, and the ball is thrown and completed to Mike Barber, and he has a Cincinnati first down.
Don, that's a huge play, that decision. From the spot of the foul, they gave them the penalty. It ended up being third down and short. Now it's almost a 20-yard pickup on the penalty from the spot of the foul. Good.
It certainly was an intentional face mask.
No.
It's a graded penalty. It can be 5, 10, or 15 yards, depending on the official's ruling and the intent. Esiason on first down, looks over the middle, lets the ball go
wide open.
Eddie Brown in the end zone, touchdown Cincinnati.
The pass was not pretty. almost end over end. But it did get Eddie Brown 34 yards and a touchdown. And now is that penalty huge? I mean, they had Harold Green for a 25-yard loss. Goodness.
Jim Breach hits the point after. And the Cincinnati Bengals, who at one point in the second quarter trailed 14-3, now lead 20-14. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at Riverfront Stadium. 5 straight completions by Boomer Esiason on that last drive, Trump, to 5 different receivers. So he has his game back in order, and the Cincinnati Bengals have the lead. Johnson hits a kickoff deep, and the ball is down in the end zone. And the Bengals, or the Browns, will go on offense 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line.
That was a 10-play, 70-yard drive for a score.
The Cleveland Browns offense, which has been quiet since midway through the second quarter, now ready to move it out if they can from their 20. 1st down and 10. Kevin Mack. Bengals come hitting. Inside backer Carl Zander along with Ryan Grant on the tackle.
Back to the touchdown by the Bengals. Watch the ball. Not thrown beautifully, but Eddie Brown is wide open. 22 Vince Newsom is the closest man in coverage. Blown coverage. Boomer had that one pump fake down the middle. Drew the free safety in tight. Eddie Brown's open on the outside for a 34-yard touchdown to give the Bengals the lead.
Kosar looks it up, and the ball is taken in by Leroy Horde, and he's out across to the 45-yard line.
I don't know which is better, the throw or the catch.
25-yard gain.
Leo Barker, you can see that Bernie is flush in the pocket, and Horde is really the outlet receiver. Beautiful throw, just as good a catch, and a huge play for the Cleveland Browns. Bengals had Browns defense down the field. Quarterback flushed out of the pocket, and Bernie makes one up for a big gain.
Only his 9th catch. Leroy Horde. You see he gets in the end zone often. 5 touchdowns, and the Cleveland Browns move it out now, trailing by 6. Kosar, long ball. Open to Slaughter. Webster Slaughter down inside to the 10-yard line.
Lewis Phillips in coverage.
The worst-rated pass defense in the NFL gives up consecutive big gainers now to Cleveland's offense.
36 yards on the reception. Watch Lewis Phillips. He just gives up coverage. Beautiful throw by Bernie Kosar. Webster Slaughter read it well. Ball is loose. Slaughter recovers. 2 big plays. 25 to Leroy Horde and 37 to Webster Slaughter.
First and goal for Cleveland. Kevin Mack, both arms on the ball, powering his way. And he's not done till he's down to the 2-yard line. So the Browns, after falling behind, now come down the field with a vengeance. 2 big throws, a 25-yarder to Horde, a 36-yarder to Slaughter, and now an 8-yard run by Kevin Mack gets them down close.
Coming right at you. Good push. Great push by the offensive line. Sanders trying to hang on. Phillips 24 and Eric Thomas make that Price 32 there for the tackle.
Big guy says, I'm not going down till I hit the end zone. Here comes a late substitution in for the Bengals.
Now it goes down. What happened? Flag was thrown.
Cincinnati's got at least 11 guys out there. They might be doing a count.
I think one of the Bengals players kicked the football because they were 1 short. They only had 10 guys on the field. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal line penalty.
which makes it about a 2-inch penalty.
Delay a game. Number 98 on the defense, attempting to conserve time. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
I think David Grant, 98, kicked the ball, moved the ball.
Sam White, who saw good things for a while, but now his defense looking like the 28th rated defense in the NFL on this Cleveland drive as Kosar's taking them apart.
Correction, it's second down. Second down.
Second down and goal from a yard away.
And Mack has scored twice on runs from this spot, Don. Why not give it to him again?
He's the I-back. Leroy Horde is the blocker up front. Kevin Mack, he didn't get there. The Bengals were looking Kevin Mack all the way, and now a huge third down arises for the Cleveland Browns. Third and goal from a yard away. That to Tagovailoa and James Francis were the tacklers.
This play just never looked good from the outset. The Browns' offensive line didn't get a push on that one like they got on the last one. And Kevin Mack had nowhere to go, and he, in fact, lost yardage.
Mack's first touchdown run was to the right. Power sweep right. Browns can still get a first down. They're up and standing now here at Riverfront. Hand off to Mack. He's down close, but he's not in. No signal. Now there's a touchdown signal.
There was a fumble, Don.
I think we're going to be reviewing for a little while here.
Oh, that was fumble. It was picked up by Rienstra in the end zone. I have not seen a signal yet.
There was a linesman signal for a touchdown.
Well, Matt Stover's on. You're right. I did not see the signal.
Yeah, but just one linesman put his arms up. All the others did not. And it came late, the signal.
Oh, they're going to go the extra point right here.
Matt Stover continues perfect on extra points. The man has missed but one field goal this season. And the Cleveland Browns have come back to take a 21-20 lead with 3:55 to play in the third quarter. And apparently, despite the fumble call, they're not going to review it.
Again, the touchdown by Cleveland. Excellent job by the offensive line and about 4 different efforts by Kevin Mack. He's hit just at the line of scrimmage, continues to fight, and you'll see him break the plane of the goal line, so if the ball gets loose, nothing happens. He's in the end zone. Touchdown counts.
And back to live action, the kickoff. Hit downfield to Lynn James of the Bengals. Kevin Mack with his first 3-touchdown day of his NFL career.
That was unbelievable effort by Kevin Mack. That drive came quickly. 2 big plays, one to Slaughter and one to Horde.
Now let's see what Boomer Esiason and the Bengal offense can do. They have scored on their last 3 possessions in this game. First, there's a timeout. During the commercial, Coach Sam White emphasizing a point very strongly to a couple of officials.
He was talking about the ball being kicked. He said it was kicked by the Cleveland Browns player, not the Bengals player, and the Bengals were penalized. A moot point.
Green again breaks into the Cleveland defense and is out to the 32-yard line. Gain on the play of 7 yards. Linebacker David Brandon was the tackler as we check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Skins and Oilers in a low-scoring game go to the fourth quarter tied 6-all. New England has just scored, back to within 3 at Buffalo. Minnesota coming from behind. Now they take a 14-6 lead on Tampa Bay. Here at Riverfront, it's 21-20. Browns with a 1-point lead. Green with the ball. Avon reads him all the way. Coming across to make the play on defense was number 29, Eric Turner, the rookie strong safety.
Going to see a lot of 29 coming across the line of scrimmage to make a stop on a running back for the next, hopefully, 8 to 10 years for the Cleveland Browns.
He looks as good as advertised. Eric Turner, the Cleveland Browns, their rookie safety.
6 tackles today, and I don't think he was in the game until it was the second half.
Big down here, Trump. 3rd down, and the Bengals need 5.
Strange formation. Rodney Holman, bottom of the screen, is the wide receiver.
Brooks comes in motion. Brings Newsom across with him. Here's the rush. And the throw. And the connection to Eddie Brown. Still on the run. Eddie Brown not done. He could go the distance. Finally, he's caught by Stephen Braggs and by David Brandon. But the Bengals hit the big play with no markers down to the 37-yard line of Cleveland.
Great pass protection by the Bengals offensive line. Esiason had all kinds of time. Here's Brown on the pattern. He's running against Braggs. And then Eddie Brown has always been a characteristic of his career, running after he catches it. Ends up 32-yard pickup. First down, Bengals.
And he ran about 80 yards to get the 32.
Yeah, suddenly in the second half, big play after big play for both teams.
3rd quarter winding down quickly. We're down to a minute and a half to play in it. Browns lead by 1, but the Bengals driving again. Hit in the backfield. And that was number 75, Pia Sangapulatelli, the rookie from San Diego State, who has made a lot of big strikes. And he is a big guy, 6'6", 297.
Yeah, but you know, Don, the Cleveland Browns defensive line have not made a lot of tackles today. We've called linebackers and defensive backs making tackles on Harold Green. That's how successful the rushing game of the Bengals have been.
2nd and 14. Esiason on the rollout. Throws the ball. And he gets his man, Mike Dingle, who caught the touchdown pass earlier. Clay Matthews was on the stop for Cleveland. The game clock is down to 42 seconds and running in the 3rd quarter. Cleveland 21, Cincinnati 20. Browns led by a point at halftime, 14-13. Cincinnati took a 20-14 lead. Then the Browns came right back. On the 3rd touchdown of the day by Kevin Mack. They've taken a 1-point lead. But the Bengals have been unstoppable their last 4 possessions. They've scored their previous 3, and they're driving again here. In the late 80s, this was the #1 offense in the NFL, and it's looking like it again. Esiason against the big rush. Throws, and he connects with Eddie Brown. First down, Bengals.
Boy, they changed personnel. They changed formation 3 times and still get the playoff.
The end of the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back after these messages from your local. Esiason, with the bad shoulder, has gotten a hot hand. Look at him in the 3rd quarter. He's hit everything he's put up. 7 for 7, 94 yards and a touchdown.
Eddie Brown has been the big receiver, too. He had the touchdown reception and just had the big catch for the first down, and then had the 36-yard reception, too. So it's been almost exclusively to Eddie Brown.
Dan White's talked about no quit in his team. They're resilient. They've never stopped working hard despite the bad season, and the Bengals now trying to take the lead again. Down by 1. Handoff. This is Green, who dives over the top. David Brandon, 58, was the first to hit him, and he still managed to dive ahead for 3 yards.
You see Brandon, 58, at the bottom of the screen. Watch what happens. Dingle tries to block him, and on his back, he puts his legs up. Feet right in the stomach, and it brings Harold Green to the ground. That's a tough way to be brought down.
It's a tough guy to bring down. Harold Green has been the player of the game for the Cincinnati Bengals today. 118 yards rushing in the first half alone. Here he goes. Cutting back. Another big strike put on by Brandon and Michael Dean Perry.
And it brings up another big 3rd down for both teams. The Bengals have done an excellent job of converting those 3rd downs in the second half. Look at those numbers. Quick snap by Cincinnati. The Browns tried to bring somebody on the field, and now this guy, the referee's calling the timeout. What's he doing? The official took a timeout, his own timeout.
That was an official timeout for an injury to the defense.
Oh, the Browns are getting hurt.
Who's the injured player?
He had hurt feelings. That was all. It was a smart move by Cleveland. Sam is not pleased.
Well, he was trying for the quick play because Cleveland made the substitution. Who's the injury?
Just a little slight, some hurt feeling. A smart move by the Browns to save the Bengals getting a quick snap. Now it's third down. Esiason needs a long 5. There's the throw, and Eddie Brown loses the ball in a diving attempt. As Sangapulatelli leveled Boomer Esiason just as he released the ball.
James Jones was there too. They had Eddie Brown in the backfield that time. Don sees right next to Boomer Esiason. He runs the pattern on the linebacker. Boy, it went right through his hands. Brown was the closest man in coverage, and frankly, that ball should be caught. Eddie's made the tough catches. There's Jones in the face of Boomer Esiason. Breach on for the field goal.
Jim Breach, an effective kicker this season. Every season, and he can give the Bengals the lead by 2 if he hits it with a lot of time left. Ball is on the way, and as you see, it's right through. So for the second time of the game, the Bengals come from behind and take the lead. It's 23-21. Cincinnati kicks off in a moment. The lights are on at Riverfront, and the crowd is up as the Bengals have rallied again and taken the lead on the Jim Breach field goal. 13:41 to play in the game. Cincinnati 23, Cleveland 21. Last week, the Bengals had a Sam White's era record low number of rushing yards, just 37 in the loss at Houston. Today, they have 156 yards rushing to just 59 for the Browns. The kickoff hit downfield by Lee Johnson. Danny Peebles runs it back. With speed to the outside, he turns up and ahead to the 22-yard line. Let's check the Schick Tracer 10-minute ticker. A touchdown run from 23 yards out by Ernest Biner early in the fourth quarter has given the Redskins a 7-point lead. Bills get a field goal from Norwood, extend their lead from 13-10 to 16-10. Packers and Jets are tied. Bill Belichick said of Bernie Kosar, he's one of the great competitors I've ever been around, a tremendous fighter. And in this comeback season of the Browns after the 3-13 year, Kosar's been the man who's brought them from behind time and again. Now he looks to do it again. Here's a downfield throw, and it's taken away from Webster Slaughter on a tip by Lewis Billups. Well done by Billups. He could have had a pick.
Well, it's about time. Lewis Billups has been beaten several times, and he finally gets decent coverage on Webster Slaughter. The slant. Billups is looking inside. Ball thrown a little late. Allows the defensive back to get in there. Looked like there was contact, too, but both going for the football. Incidental contact. Now it looks like Cleveland took Kevin Mack out. Hordes in there. Do they have a 4-wide receiver set?
We'll find out in a moment as they break the huddle. They do indeed.
No, 3 wides and a tight end.
Now Galbraith is in. Langhort comes out near side. Brennan at the top of your screen, upper left-hand corner. Kosar looking his way. Now he looks back. He's got to hurry. He makes the throw, and it's completed, but for not very much. On second down and 10, the Browns get about 5 as Brian Brennan cut back and caught the ball.
For Cleveland now, this is the key third down conversion of the game.
Yes, it is.
They have not been very good on third down conversions this afternoon. And as a player, you're aware of that. Now 12 short of Bart Starr's record. Where's Richard Fain? Richard Fain, top of the screen. I throw it to Michael Jackson, far side of the field.
Jackson has not been consistent, though, in his rookie season. Third and 5. Kosar gets some time, makes the throw, and there's a breakup by Lewis Billups, and the Browns have to punt the ball.
Well, he's come back and made 2 big plays. He got absolutely beat to death in the first half, but good coverage both times that time by Lewis Billups. Happens to the left, the short slant. Billups there to pull the arm away by Webster Slaughter. They can't make the completion. Hansen into punt.
Ryan Hansen hitting the ball well again. They go for the block, almost got a piece of it, and it takes a straight up and down bounce, so it'll be down inside the 40-yard line.
That was
Clark. He might have got a piece of it.
I don't know how he missed it.
Temperature dropping in the Ohio Valley. Cincinnati Bengals with a 2-point lead in the fourth quarter. 12:27 to play. Esiason, who's been hot in the second half, takes a look. Running out of time, he makes the connection to James Brooks. And again, a thunderous hit put on by that rookie Eric Turner, who was a cannon coming out of that deep secondary.
Now let's go back to the punt. Watch how close this is. This is not a punt block. It's just one guy getting through. Bernard Clark, 57. The players are coached to aim for a spot 4 yards in front of the punter. But Cleveland is very fortunate there that the ball is not touched by Bernard Clark. Not a particularly good punt, but it was not blocked.
And on that first down throw, the Bengals get a first down. First down and 10. Eddie Brown at the lower portion of your screen. Here comes the run. And this is Harold Green. This time, I'll tell you, this Eric Turner is sensational. While we have a moment, let's go to NFL Live in New York for an update. Bob?
All right, Don, the Redskins and Oilers were tied at 6. Then following a Lorenzo fumble, Ernest Biner goes off right tackle, makes a little improvisational move of his own, and takes it into the end zone 23 yards for the touchdown. The Redskins take the lead at 13-6. There are now 9 minutes to play at RFK. Don?
And thank you, Bob. We have 11:38 to play, and as you see the clock running. Second down and 11. After the big hit by Eric Turner. Deep drop by Esiason. Long look, downfield throw, and it's picked off the turf by Eddie Brown. And look, they rule on the one hop.
Everybody's ruling on the one hop.
He was wide open.
Again, great pass protection for Esiason. A lot of time for this play to develop. Let's see if we can pick up whether, in fact, the ball bounces. Yeah, I think that's an excellent call. I think it skids along the turf. So it's 3rd and 10 for the Bengals. And again, that tight shoulder of Boomer Esiason, the ball just couldn't carry the last 4 or 5 yards.
Interesting draft this year, Trump. Russell Merrill, the top pick to Dallas, has a total of 2 tackles so far as a backup. The 3rd pick has played virtually not at all. The cornerback from Nebraska that went to Atlanta. Eric Turner, because of the injury, getting his first time today, and he looks all world, at least at this point in his career. Esiason gets the ball away, but throws it errantly, looking at Mike Barber. For the Browns defense, comes up big and stops Cincinnati on 3rd down, and now Cleveland will get it back with 11:11 to play, and the Browns trailing by 2.
Well, Boomer gets pressured this time, is flushed out of the pocket slightly, and then the receiver turns his back. He's trying to find an open spot when Boomer begins to scramble, and you might see Barber at the end. No, you don't see him. Good job by Michael Dean Perry, keeping pressure on Boomer Esiason. Incomplete pass. Bengals must punt.
Sure-handed Brian Brennan is back. A tough punt to handle. He lets it go. He has no choice. And Cleveland will have the long field to go, trailing by 2. As the ball is down to the 6-yard line. The time, and there's plenty of it for Kosar on the offense. 10:58 to play. Back at Riverfront Stadium, Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. The Cleveland Browns have the pressure on right now, but they've got the right guy to handle the pressure in Bernie Kosar. He likes it like this.
Oh, he loves it. He protects the ball well. He sees the field well. He reads defense as well. Bernie knows that the only thing that can hurt him out here is to make a mistake. He'll be very conservative in where he's going to throw the ball, regardless of what is called. He will make sure that they do not turn the ball over here.
Last year, the Browns turned the ball over 46 times, the most in the NFL. This season, in the 9th game, they've turned it over a total of 5 all season long. Nobody is close in the NFL to that total. The league average is 16.5 turnovers so far. Another NFL update. Let's go back to Bob in New York.
All right, Don, at Rich Stadium, the Patriots got as close as 13-10. Then Thurman Thomas takes over. Little jitterbug step, and in he goes for the TD, covering 15 yards. He's got 108 yards on the day, and they've used him plenty, 25 carries. They missed the extra point after this TD, but Buffalo leads at home in the 4th, 22-10.
And here at Riverfront Stadium, we hit Bengal down.
Can't pick up the number yet, but on the ground, and I have a feeling He just got hammered by Kevin Mack.
Might be. Let's see. Let's check the Cannon 10-minute ticker while the injured man is attended to. Washington holding to that 7-point lead over Houston. The Bears have rallied from behind and taken a 3-point lead over the Lions at Soldier Field in Chicago. As Bob mentioned, it's a 22-10 Buffalo lead. 49ers now in a tie game with the Falcons. Green Bay has come back to take a 3-point lead on the Jets. And Minnesota, after trailing early 6-0, blowing out Tampa Bay. Immediately after the game, we'll be going to the Head and Shoulders post-game report.
Bengal players still on the field, still can't pick up the number. It looks like 32, Mitchell Price.
Mitchell Price, who is one of their best kick returners. Good to see him up now. And apparently is going to come off, but under his own power.
He's holding his left shoulder. Done something to his left shoulder of some sort. Can't tell you how extensive, how bad. I see him squeezing his fingers there, trying to get some feeling back in his arm or shoulder. See who comes in to replace him. They're going to send a rookie in there, Fernandez Vincent, 34, Barney Bussey. See what happens. Well, there's Mitchell Price. Yeah, Kevin Mack will put you out for a while.
I will assure you this, Trump. Fernandez Vincent might be a great player someday, but right now he's an untried rookie, and nobody knows it better than Bernie Kosar. Vincent is the free safety. Kosar with 2nd down and 3. They're going to get him. James Francis.
First sack of the day, his first sack of the season. Came from the outside. He'll come from Bernie's right. Looked like they tried to get a running back to block Francis, and that's a mismatch. Big play at this time of the game, leading by 2.
Bengals with the fewest sacks in the NFL, but getting one when they needed it most. And now a timeout is called as it's 3rd down and 9, and it's the Bengal defense, Trump, that calls the timeout.
Yeah, I think because of the injury to Mitchell Price now, they've got to readjust the defensive backfield, get the right people on the field. Barney Bussey has not been in there a whole lot in the second half. He's sustained some kind of injury, but they want to make sure they get the right personnel on the key down of the game here for Cincinnati's defense.
As we wait, we'll take a look at the Xerox Sports Facts. Who scored the most points in an NFL game and gave up 2 of Babe Ruth's 60 home runs in 1927. Answer later.
We know that comes from Eddie Fabishoff, our associate producer.
And our congratulations to Eddie and his wife Barry and their new addition.
Yes, lovely little girl named Bree.
Bree, second heir to the Fabishoff fortune.
Okay, let's take some inventory here. The Bengals have 2, 4, 6 defensive backs, make it 7 defensive backs. Richard Payne, far side of the field on Michael Jackson. That's where they've been picking him out.
There's that overload with 4 wideouts to the right side. So Bernie's got to get it away quickly. Not a lot of guys in to block. He takes a look. They give him time. He lets it go. And it's down to Langhorne for a first down, Cleveland.
Beautiful play. Eric Thomas in coverage.
Listen, Bernie Kosar is something to behold when the heat's on.
Plenty of time. He sees Langhorne coming open. Langhorne makes the big catch.
Eligible position.
And again now they bring in Paul Farron as an extra blocker on the line of scrimmage. Wearing 74, he's the tight end near side.
Tell you one thing, these Browns give you show every week.
Every week.
Handoff. Kevin Mack dives ahead. Just remarkable. The Browns with 46 turnovers a season ago to lead the NFL with only 5 so far this year. And again, none today. As Kosar continues to press the record of Bart Starr. He's now 12 short of tying it. Consecutive passes without an interception.
What a weapon Kevin Mack is. They take him out of the game here. Leroy Hort is in, but what a weapon Kevin Mack has been throughout this day.
Second down, a long 7, almost 8. Throwing a catch. The tight end Galbraith gets the ball, and he's still running inside the 50, inside the 40. He's on his way all the way down to the 22-yard line, breaking the big play. And from a Brown standpoint, Trump, while the Bengals try to stop them, Cleveland might not want to score too quickly and give Cincinnati a lot of time, because Esiason's been moving the team.
Nice rollout. Cleveland doesn't do that much with Bernie Kosar. This ends up being a 52-yard completion to the tight end, and they don't throw to the tight end at all. That's just his 9th reception of the season. A huge 52-yard pickup.
8:18 to play. Bengals with a 2-point lead, but the Browns behind Kosar, driving again. Mack, both arms on the ball, fights his way down to the 25-yard line. The Bengals hunting the ball, but they can't free it up from this Cleveland offense. David Grant, the tackler.
Again, the first down runs by Kevin Mack have been sensational. Put the Browns in second and medium yardage. 4, 5, 3, 2 yards. That's a perfect down for your offense. He's been such a key to this Browns offense today.
Belichick seems to like this weather. It seems to be cold. Browns want a touchdown badly to get a 5-point lead and make Cincinnati score a touchdown. Mack, second down. Thunders down to the 21-yard line. As we'll check the answer to the sports facts, who hit 2 homers or gave up 2 homers to Babe Ruth in 1927 and scored the most points in an NFL game. Ernie Nevers scored 40 points for the Chicago Cardinals and pitched for the St. Louis Browns.
Another big third down here for both teams.
If the Browns should hit a field goal, they'd only be up by 1, and that would give the Bengals a chance with their ace kicker, Jim Breach. 6:45 to play. Mack dives. He's going to be close. The linesman comes in and appears to give Cleveland the spot for a first down. Bernard Clark was the tackler, number 57.
Browns have not turned the ball over today. They protect it well. Something they build in their offensive game plan. Mack hangs on to it tough. Boy, has he been a factor.
Bernie Kosar now 23 throws for the day. Has completed 14. 230 yards. Whoa, did he get it? It's going to be by the nose of the ball. By the nose of the ball. Sam Weitzel. Absolutely. He feels betrayed by the gods of fate, by the officials.
What agony. Remember, this drive started at the Cleveland 7.
That's right. Game clock running. 6:15 to play. Browns trail the Bengals by 2 points. Kosar to Kevin Mack. And as you pointed out, Trump, Kevin Mack, not with the big gainers, but with the consistent plus yardage. And most importantly, not freeing up the ball with all those hits on him.
He just softens up the defense. I mean, he had more yards if he doesn't trip over his offensive guard, Ed King, number 68. Ed King was on the pole there, but he got tripped up, and Kevin Mack fell over him.
Second down, power set as the Browns have 2nd and 8. Bengals load up their defensive front. Mack.
Fumble. Ball was loose.
Bengals signal they have it. Let's see what the official says. Browns now signaling they have it.
Nobody's signaling anything now.
And Sam White saying, does something finally go our way?
He's probably also saying, probably not.
Well, you can get serious injuries.
There can be homicides in there. Bengals call.
So the Browns turn it over.
First time today.
Barney Bussey comes up with the ball. Here's the play.
He just complimented Kevin Mack on hanging on to it. There's no place for him to go. And the ball is loose there, out of his arms. Stripped away by Barney Bussey. No question that ball is loose. Now, I don't know who might have it down there. Jimmy Hoffa might come up with it. I don't know.
Bussey ran off with it, but it turns over to the Bengals, and now with 5:15 to play, it's up to the Cleveland defense to try to get it back from the Bengals. As Esiason has the ball positioned at his 15-yard line. Bengals with a 2-point lead. Boomer drops, takes a look. He gets time, throws and connects with Harold Green. And he dives ahead for a gain of 8 yards out to the 23-yard line. As the Bengals keep the clock running, Browns with their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. Bengals have 2 left, but right now they just want to run the clock holding to a 2-point lead.
Yeah, and in these situations, your defense is in control of those timeouts. They've got 3 left. They have to give the offense enough time left whenever the offense gets it back. The Bengals are going to use 45 seconds on every single play.
Left, but right now
your defense is in control of those timeouts. They've got 3 left. They have to give the offense enough time left whenever the offense gets it back. The Bengals are going to use 45 seconds on every single play.
in the last meeting in September, Stover of the Browns hit 4 field goals. His last at the close of the game from 45 yards out. Now they hem Harold Green in, and they knock him down for a loss of a yard on a 2nd and 2 carry. And Esiason and the Bengals come up with a big 3rd down. Their 3rd and 3 has been a big number in this game as we check the Schick Tracer 10-minute ticker. New England staying right in the game with Buffalo.
Well, that was a huge stop by Cleveland. That's the play that Harold Green had gained all that yardage on in the first half. They have defensed that well in the second half.
What do the Browns come with? A blitz?
No. Play it very straight here, Don.
3rd down and a long 2, almost 3.
They blitz.
They get James Brooks just short of the 1st down. Vince Newsom makes a tremendous play, and now what do the Bengals do? If they don't make it on 4th and a foot, they give the Browns the game.
Timeout, Browns.
Cincy's got to stay with their defense, Trump. They've got to punt it and hope their defense can hold.
Great tackle by Vince Newsom. Outstanding tackle. Of course, that's not the official side of the field, but he's
Timeout. Cleveland, that's their first one. This is a 40-second timeout.
The ball is about a half a yard short, so there's going to be time to make the decision here. I think one thing you have to do is you bring your offense out, try to trick them off sides. Run somebody in motion. You don't mind taking the 5 yards. And I think Belichick is saying, do not jump off sides. Now here's Boomer talking to Sam on the sideline. Tough ball for both sides here.
It's something where the Bengals they have to come out of their losing streak. I'd go for it and give it to Green. It's easy for me to say.
Well, when you're 0-8, there is no decision that is right. The punt team is being sent in. But when you're 0-8, there is no choice made by the head coach that's right. It's not a good percentage down to go on it. Now you remind your punt team.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lee Johnson throws the ball.
No, you got to kick the ball away.
Browns are ready for that, though. They're doubling up those cover men, the wideouts. And he is indeed going to punt it. Picks it up to Brian Brennan. They're catching the ball back at his 33-yard line. So with 3:16 to go, the pressure again goes on the Cleveland offense and Bernie Kosar.
So, Don, if you're the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, here's your choice. I'm 0-8. My offense has got a 4th and short, and if I punt it away, their offense, Cleveland's offense, goes on the field against the worst-ranked defense, yardage-wise, points-wise, passing yards-wise in the NFL. So this, again, is the Cleveland Browns' opportunity, and that's the choice that Sam White had to face. Now, the defense has done a decent job in stopping the Browns in some drives, but the last drive was an excellent drive by Cleveland. If they don't turn it over, they go in and score.
Chill factor down about 10 degrees or below. It's a cold day in Cincinnati and getting colder. Kosar stands in, throws the ball. Webster Slaughter makes the play. He was knocked out of bounds before his feet were down, but it was the defense that pushed him out. He caught it inbounds. It is indeed a catch for Cleveland.
What a great connection, because when this ball is thrown, Webster Slaughter has yet to turn around. Eric Thomas is the man in coverage. Keeps his feet in bounds. First down pickup. Great throw by Bernie Kosar.
Kosar last year troubled by the sore elbow and a lack of protection. And now having a phenomenal season as he leads the Browns back. But they're down by 2 points. 2:34 to play, and the clock runs. Here's a blitz, and a throw, and a connection to Leroy Horde. And he's out of bounds at the 46-yard line of Cincinnati.
Well, he's just picking the right guy, isn't he?
He is indeed. Xander ran him out to get an idea of how long a field goal is going to be at 17 yards to the line of scrimmage. The hold is 7 yards back from the line of scrimmage, and then, of course, the uprights are 10 yards deep in the end zone. So you can see what kind of a distance the field goal will be just by adding 17 yards to the line of scrimmage.
This guy can find the open guy.
Browns way out of field goal range at this point. Now Kosar changes the play. Second down, and the Browns need 3. Kevin Mack back in as a setback. Kosar looks, lets it go. And there is a blatant foul, and here comes a flag.
Finally.
As Webster Slaughter was tackled in the open field.
Right by Lewis Billups. No question whatsoever.
And I'll tell you, Billups did the right thing.
No,
he was gone.
Lewis Billups has no complaint whatsoever. You'll see it perfectly. He grabs Slaughter's shirt. He grabs his shirt. No question about it.
Now the Browns are in long field goal range with 2:21 to play.
Pass interference, number 24 on the defense. First down.
No question.
74 reports to an eligible position.
Cincinnati call for defensive pass interference.
You're right, Don. If he doesn't hold Webster Slaughter at 6 points for the Cleveland Browns. Still very poor coverage.
Last week, the Cleveland fans in the television audience turned out a 38 rating, a 63% or 68% share of audience. They're going to break it this week. It'll be higher. Here's a handoff, and Mack not chancing anything. 2 arms on the ball, but not much yardage. Now you see where the ball is positioned at the 25-yard line. 17 yards back from that would make it a 42-yard field goal from this point. And the Bengals are going to call a timeout.
Now they have to.
Second down coming up.
The defense has got to stop the clock. With the timeout, the offense can stop it, throwing it out of bounds into the ground. So the defense has got to be a part here. They're close enough for a field goal.
The Browns' comeback story, an inspirational one. In the midst of a 3-game losing streak, they went to the West Coast and fell behind late in the third quarter, 17-3 to the San Diego Chargers. And Kosar, going to the 2-minute offense, rallied them back to tie the game 17-all. Then the Chargers went ahead 24-17. The Browns rallied back, tied at 24-all, and won it on a branded interception and return in overtime. And now the Bengals find themselves again facing this Kosar comeback arm, a man who finds a way. And he's going to be pitching. I think he wants to get it down sure shot range.
You saw Dick LeBeau talking to his defensive backs over there, Eric Thomas and Barney Bussey. Kosar talking to Belichick on the sideline.
As we check the Cannon 10-minute ticker. Bills win wasn't easy over the Patriots. They go to 8-1. Second down and 9 for the Cleveland Browns. Power set, one wide receiver. That's Webster Slaughter. Mack. Bengals read him all the way. They're keeping the ball in the middle of the field. They'll take their chances on Stover hitting from 42 yards.
Timeout again by the Bengals. Carl Zander makes the tackle. There's no question. Stover warming up on the sideline, and could it be in two Cincinnati Cleveland games in 1991, both decided by a field goal by Matt Stover. He's hit from 46. Made his last 10 in a row. Al Hunter is saying, where do you want the ball, pal? Where do you want the ball?
Let's go back to the third week of this season. Back in September at Cleveland Stadium. When Stover hit 4 field goals, this was the 4th, and it decided the game. But 45 yards away, he splits the uprights, and the Browns, without a touchdown that day, 4 field goals and a safety, defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 14-13. Today, a very similar scenario, 23-21. If he hits a game winner today, the Browns will again win by a point, but that has not been decided. Right now, the Bengals have the lead, 23-21. And third down arises for Kosar and the Cleveland Browns. Bengals look confused on defense. They go to Kevin Mack. Penalty markers down as Mack is hit for a loss.
Well, I don't know who this penalty's on. There are 12 Cincinnati Bengals on the field. There are 12 Cincinnati Bengals on the field. There were.
Now there's about 18 of them.
False start. Number 66 on the offense. Prior to the snap, we have to play third down again.
No doubt, but I'll tell you what, there were 12 Cincinnati Bengals on the field. Watch the left tackle. Tony Jones, no question, but there were 12 Cincinnati Bengals on the field. Well, that's a huge loss because now it's a 47-yard field goal. If they gain no more yards than this.
Kosar has to trust his great ability. He's got to throw the ball. They've got to get closer than this. 47 with a gusting wind across the field. They've got to throw the ball.
Now we've got an officials huddle here.
Please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Yeah, since there was no play, that last few clicks off the clock don't count.
Third down and 14. Kosar's going to put it up. He looks. He throws.
Oh!
Dropped at the 5-yard line, the 9-yard line. A little bit underthrown to Langhorne. Had a play on it, Ricky Dixon. And now it comes down to a 47-yard field goal attempt.
They run the out and up, and the man is open. Langhorne has it right in his belly, but he can't catch it. Stover's longest field goal this season, 45 yards.
That was the one that beat the Bengals in the first game. First meeting. He's got enough into it.
Oh, it hit the upright.
It hit the upright, but it's not over. There's 1:56 still to play. If Cleveland can hold, and the Browns still have 2 timeouts remaining, they can get another shot at it.
From behind the kicker, you see the missed field goal attempt by Stover. When kickers try to hit it a little extra hard, they hook it. And what's the chances of hitting that upright? That thing would have been good from 55 or 60 yards. Hold is good by Hansen. Snap is good, but he's trying to body English.
And you'll remember last week, certainly the Cleveland Brown fans will, when Gary Anderson of the Steelers hit one. It would have tied the game in the fourth quarter. It hit the upright and bounced straight back. Now the Browns defense has to somehow stop the Bengals. 2 timeouts remaining for Cleveland. Cincinnati has none, as they'll look to run out the clock. Harold Green ready to run the ball from the deep back position. Play fake by Esiason. He makes a throw. The ball is dropped, and that stops the clock, and Cleveland saves a timeout. And the clock is stopped with 1:49 to play and second down.
Gaddis was the intended receiver. That ball just bounced around on his hands a little bit. Now 2nd and 10. And the Bengals need a first down here.
But so importantly, Trump, it stopped the clock, the incomplete pass.
They need a first down here, or they're going to give the ball back to the Browns.
That was a big gamble and one that failed. Bengals burn it down and stop the clock. Cleveland still with 2 timeouts. Handoff. Running hard and ahead for a gain of about 6 yards is James Brooks. He's to the 35-yard line. The Head and Shoulders post-game report is next. And now Cleveland calls timeout. They have just 1 left with 1:42 to play. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Boomer Esiason and his Bengals holding to a 23-21 lead with 1:42 to play. Bill Belichick's Browns looking to hold here on 3rd down and get the ball back on a punt and have Kosar engineer them into position for a winning field goal try. A 47-yard attempt a short time ago hit the upright by Stover. Hand off to Green. They stop him. Cincinnati has to punt the ball with 1:37 to go. The Browns stop the clock.
Timeout.
The Browns do indeed get
Cleveland.
another chance when we come back. What a... Sam White exhorting his troops. Now you've got to deliver on defense.
He's down there with the defense. The punt team is on the field. Let's see what the Browns' choice is here. There's 1:37 to go. Neither team has timeouts. Do you go for the block or you go for the return?
Got to go for the return with Kosar in a minute 37.
Yeah, right, they're going for the return.
They can't risk a foul. Lee Johnson hits the ball. A knuckler high up. Webster Slaughter from his 23 to the 30. And out to the 34-yard line, a face mask against the Cincinnati Bengals. Leon White grabbed the face mask inadvertently, but it's still penalty yardage for Cleveland. Browns with no timeouts left and 1:24 to play.
That looked like it might be a 15-yarder, Don.
You think?
Face mask. Number 91 on the kicking team. 15 yards. First down.
You're right, Trump. It's a major
foul.
penalty.
Yeah,
But it wasn't Xander 91. It was 51.
Yeah. Now they're running Webster Slaughter. It's 51 who grabs a hold. Does he get the face mask?
91 missed it, Xander.
Yes, he sure does get the face mask. No question about it.
Where the head goes, the body must follow. Now Bernie and the Browns start from their 49-yard line. No timeouts. Down by 2. A minute 24 to play. The cardiac kids of the 80s are back. A throw and a catch to Brian Brennan to the 44-yard line.
Got to hurry up now. Hurry up. Get to the line of scrimmage. 1:15 and ticking.
Richard Payne was the tackler. Brown. Cleveland's Bernie Kosar sets himself up now. 4 wideouts in the game. Game clock down to a minute to play. Here's the rush. Here's the throw. He's got a man. Langhorne looking to get out of bounds. He fights down to the 23.
From there, it's a 42-yard field goal right now. Clock still running. A Bengal player is down. Lewis Billups.
You know he's hurt because the last thing they want to do is stop the clock.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any other defensive backs now. They had 7 in the ball game on that last snap, and Billups is going to have to come off the field. The clock is stopped for him. He has to come off.
The Houston Oilers have tied Washington.
Well, wait a minute. The Bengals only have 10 men on the field here now. 3, 6. There's the 10th. Here comes the 10th.
Leo Barker, a linebacker, trots out. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. Producer of today's game, Victor Frank. Director, Richard Klein. As we're down to the final 39 seconds. Kosar on first down. Lets it go to the end zone. Brian Brennan. He loses the ball off his shoulder pads.
Wide open again over Richard Fain.
The clock is stopped with 31 seconds to play. Penalty marker down, Trump on the field.
No, that's just some confetti, but look at this throw. Brennan is wide open again on over 31, and the ball just hits his shoulder pads. Brennan normally very sure-handed.
He got a gusting wind that might have blown it back into him. On second down, there's a throw and a catch as Langhorne runs out of bounds. Now he's inbound. 22 seconds to go.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. He can just throw the ball into the ground. No problem.
It's unbelievable, this team.
Stover's not going to miss this kick.
Ernie downs the ball. 9 seconds to play. And Stover does indeed get another chance, and you get the feeling he's pretty sure about it.
Remember that Sam White, after Stover won the game in Cleveland, wrote him a letter congratulating the young man. I don't imagine he'll write him again.
Line of scrimmage is the 17-yard line. 17 yards from there, it's going to be a 34-yard attempt. Stover and the Browns get a reprieve, another chance. It's on the way. Block! And the Bengals will win the game.
Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas comes around the corner.
Time is out. The game is over. And a defensive play by Eric Thomas wins it. As Stover is denied a second time in the final 2 minutes.
Certainly the Cannon replay of the game. Eric Thomas from around the corner, Don, blocks the kick.
Absolutely a sensational ending. And the Bengals, who looked like they were going to go to their 9th defeat, rise up on defense, get the block, and Sam White is off the schneid. He has his first win of the year.
Right side. Eric Thomas comes around the right side. Defensive left.
The Cannon Cam Corner replay of the game.
Lays out, is vertical, is horizontal across the turf, makes the block, and Carl Zander recovers the ball. Clock expires, and the losing streak is over. Good snap, good hold. Thomas makes the block.